Make yourself at home. Okay, are we ready?
We're ready.
And we're back.
Welcome back. I Don't Drink Coffee podcast, episode 15.
That was pretty good.
Thank you.
That wasn't
very
bad.
much. I appreciate that.
That was only a little embarrassing.
It was pretty embarrassing, actually. I'll probably cut that part out.
Well, okay. So, here we are
Here we are.
with our most exciting guest we've had up to this point. Definitely the most famous. Ava Rose Johnson.
Sweet.
My niece. I'm related to her. Ben's not related to her, but I am. So, and we have my brother Nathan Johnson.
I was going to say, how are you going to...
He's kind of a side note, though, because Ava's the big deal, and Nathan, he's kind of the... What would you call him?
I've wanted your brother to come on for a long time. Like,
Yeah.
I was wanting him to be, like, the first guest.
I knew he'd be a good guest. I knew. I mean, he's, talkative or whatever. He got some funny stories. So okay, well, then let's start.
But I want you to tell everyone who your niece is.
Everybody knows who she is. I just said her name. They know by looking at her. Anyway, she's very famous. Singer, actress, comedian, all these things. I don't know. Superstar. There, that's what she is.
She's acted too?
I don't know. She's all that
I
stuff.
can be. I'm acting in a play for my school.
Are you?
Yeah.
See?
That's awesome.
She's a personality, is what she is.
Well, I know
And we
Carter,
appreciate it.
when Carter came on, he said you guys were doing a show or something in New York? No.
No, Carter
In
was talking.
California.
Carter was talking about the
California.
performances that they were doing with American kids and all that stuff.
Well,
Yeah.
I was just wondering if there was any acting in there at all.
And some,
Some.
like dancing. And then there's like singing and stuff. But
Awesome.
Yeah, because it's a show. What was the theme of that one that you guys did out in California?
It was an 80s show. It was like themed. It was costuming, dancing. It's like a amusement park type show.
I want to know, okay, whenever you guys are performing that stuff, what was the atmosphere like? I mean, were there like a lot of kids hanging around or adults or?
in Disneyland,
Yeah.
yes, there was. There was adults too, but mostly kids because it's like a kid park, you know?
Yeah,
Right.
Were they, did they get into the show at all? I mean, did people just like stand around and look at you or?
Yeah, all the older people were like getting down that knew the songs. you
Oh
know?
yeah. Well, that stuff I know. I saw the show that you guys did here in McAllister, right? Didn't you guys do that same show? Wasn't that the same one?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking. And it was awesome. It was, the costumes were cool. Everybody had their parts and those kind of things like that. It was a pretty entertaining show that I got. Well, a few of us got. I guess they had like a show, and I got to go to it. It was pretty cool.
I'm a total loser. I did not get to see it.
Well, we don't invite you to things.
I know this.
Because we're trying to keep it nice. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? We're trying to keep it on an upper level.
You got to
So,
keep Benny Klein out of this kind of
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, we're working on it.
I appreciate it.
We're getting you there
Thank you.
where you'll be included maybe one of these days.
Maybe, hopefully.
Okay, so my sister first started off in American Kids, and we were in Branson, and I loved to watch her sing. And so this one day, I watched her, and I got up there and danced like while she was singing, and then it just progressed on to that where I wanted to sing like she did. So I kind of like followed Zaina, someone that I always look up to, and yeah, that's how I got started, American Kids and stuff.
Really?
Yeah.
So, how old were you when...
4.
Well, what's funny about it is I can't remember a time when you weren't performing. Or, you know what I'm saying? I don't remember. It's like, and Zaina too, it's just like, it's synonymous with you guys for me.
Yes.
I don't know. It's like I can't remember back before all that was going on. I don't know. It's awesome. It's fun to watch too. I mean, you guys are entertaining. You are obviously very good at what you do, and had a bunch of success and all that stuff. It's cool. It's pretty neat. It's awesome to be connected to it. You know what I mean? Because I get to kind of ride the wave in
Right.
a way. You know what I mean? I'm like, yeah, I'm related to these people. So we got 4 years old when you started, and American Kids, right? Now, have you done anything? I'm not talking about lately, but I mean, did you guys do anything besides American Kids? I mean, as far as performing and that kind of thing?
You did stuff on your own.
Yeah, I did stuff on my own.
And you guys have traveled everywhere. I mean, you guys,
Everywhere.
yeah. That's awesome. What's probably your favorite place that you've performed? Would you say?
Ooh.
I know it's kind of putting you on the spot.
That's a hard one. It was either like the top 3 is New York, the Gospel Spin Awards, and probably Disneyland.
Cool.
And so the Gospel Spin Awards was in New York?
No, New York was in Coney Island, and we did a show there, and we did it at BB King's in Times Square.
Oh, wow.
But the Gospel Spin Awards was in Atlanta, Georgia,
Oh, okay.
at the Chaddock Park Theater. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's
Well,
crazy.
I know, being friends with Nathan on Facebook and seeing all these places he's at, I'm just like, is it, at first you're just scrolling and you see, Nathan's here and, and his family's here and his family's here and they're here. And I'm like, and they're on TV and Good Morning America or what, was it Good Morning America?
Yes.
I'm like, is this real? Is this real life? Like, I have to call LJ and be like, I mean, I know that Nathan is not making this up, but what is going on, dude? Because you're not telling me, I'm not understanding what's going on. Lucas is like, I don't even know what's going on with him.
Well, and that's what I mean.
One minute, one day he's at dinner at, your parents, whatever. And then the next day he's on the, the TV and you're like, what is going on?
That's exactly how it is for me. Because Nathan will say, you can't tell anybody, but we're about to do this, and I'm like, okay. And whenever it first started out, I was thinking, okay, he's probably being a little dramatic about it. I don't think, and then the next thing you know, they're like, look, watch on Channel 6.
Watch TV.
Or watch on Good Morning America. And I'm like, holy crap, they really are on TV. Standing next to people that you see on TV all the time. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, because you've met a lot of famous people.
Yes.
And before we get to the big news, the latest news anyways. But I know that I was going to ask you, like, out of all the famous people you've met, other than yourself, who is your favorite?
Dang, we're nailing her down on
is
all
that
these
throwing
questions.
you? Is it kind of throwing you under the bus?
I don't probably have a favorite.
Really?
There's just God has blessed me with all the people that I've met in my life.
Is there an idol out there that you are really hoping to meet at some point? And I'm sure there is, obviously, but
Yeah, Carrie Job, Lauren Daigle, and Dolly Parton.
Dolly Parton.
Yeah.
Well, how are these people like whenever you're around these famous people? I know there's probably a lot of hustle and bustle that goes along with getting everything set up and all that kind of stuff like that. But is everybody pretty accommodating? I mean, what's your experience been with these people, like Robin Roberts and those kind of people that are? It seems like those people are really nice on TV. Are they nice in real life? I mean,
yes, they are super nice.
Well, you never know. I mean, you never know. You hear these stories about, they look nice on TV, but when you talk to them, they're a jerk or whatever. So I'm just kind of curious.
Have you met any jerks?
I mean, we've met jerks, but none of them were famous.
They're always
okay.
They're the people. I mean,
They're not worth.
yeah,
even talking
that's
about.
why they're not doing well, because they're not nice. I mean, all the people we've met have been so kind and supportive and easy to talk to, and they're good people. Seem to be good people. They've been good to us.
Yeah.
So
those people that you mentioned earlier that you wanted to meet.
Carrie Job is like a Christian gospel singer, and then Lauren Daigle is
Christian crossover kind of.
yeah, kinda, and then Dolly Parton.
Yeah,
Everyone knows Dolly Parton.
Yes,
I would hope so. Yeah.
She had a good song called Romeo back in the
Oh Lord.
early '90s that I really liked.
Everyone's laughing but me. I have no idea
If
what
you heard
it
the
is.
song, you'd be
Never heard
laughing
it.
too.
Ridiculous.
If you really want to laugh, you want to hear Ben sing it. Now that is awesome. Matter of fact, we should make a video of you singing that. Just a little snippet of it and put it
Didn't
in
I
this.
sing it to you one point?
Yes, that's why I'm saying this. It's hilarious. It's one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my life. So definitely we need to put that in there.
So, anyways, it was a song with Billy Ray Cyrus.
So I'm kind of curious about. Of course, I'd like to talk about the big song that you've got right now. I would like to hear a little bit of history on. And I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people that will watch this that already know this stuff, but there'll be plenty of people that might not know. So, kind of what prompted you to write the song and who you wrote it with?
Yeah, so it's called Heaven's Window. It's about my friend Behr Place that passed away 2 years ago. And like 5 months after, maybe like a little longer, maybe like after he went on, I always wanted to write a song about him. And my sister would help me, Zaina, and I would kind of start, because I got emotional about it. And then we went to this, what is it called? Like
It's a music festival.
Yeah.
Nashville to New Mexico.
Yeah, Nashville to New Mexico. It's in New Mexico. And Billy Dawson seen me perform, and he asked me to come record. And in Nashville. And I got to record 2 covers, and I got to write one. And I chose to write Heaven's Window about my friend Behr Place.
And so Billy Dawson helped you. Was he like a co-writer on it, or did he get that kind of credit for it? Or?
Yeah, I co-wrote the song with Sean Fuller from Florida Georgia Line, the drummer for Florida Georgia Line, and Billy Dawson and Laney Edwards.
How was that? I mean, as far as the writing process goes, I'm curious about were they just saying, what do you want to write about? I mean, how did that? I mean, did you have? I'm sure you had an idea of what you wanted to say and that kind of thing like that. But I'm just curious about. Where did they try to take it over, or did they let you do quite a bit of it, or?
We kind of all did it together. I already knew what I wanted to write about because I wanted to write about it for such a long time. Mm-hmm. So I already had it like set in stone,
Yeah.
So.
Huh.
And some of the people that played instruments on the tracks were like Jenny Fleener. She's the first female artist to ever be nominated for Instrumentalist of the Year through the CMAs. And she plays for
Blake Shelton,
Steven Tyler, and she's also part of the Voice band. And there was lots of really talented artists that she got to work with that, played bass guitar. Sean Fuller from Florida Georgia Line played the drums. And then Kevin Post played the slide or steel guitar, whatever it is. And there was just lots of different people that done different things on the different songs. Robbie Emerson, he played for
Jake Owen, the one that sings I Go Down,
To the Honky Tonk.
Yeah, that what's cool about, I mean, I'm glad you mentioned that because there's like some big players or whatever in the Nashville scene that were in on it. So that was something whenever I started hearing about it was exciting to me because I'm kind of a music geek on that end of the recording part of it because we did a lot of stuff when I was younger recording of our own, but like that scene is, I mean, that's big stuff, I mean, you know better than I do. I mean, you were working with some really talented people. So that's pretty cool to hear about. I remember Nathan was telling me about some of it, and some of them I knew of and some of them I didn't, but I mean, it's pretty cool to have that kind of talent working on your music.
It's just crazy how talented they were because they would walk in and just immediately pick up the beat and run through it once real quick, and then they laid down the track. I mean, it was that easy for them. I mean, they were just so talented.
And when we were writing the song, it wasn't just like serious, but like Sean, I give you an example. Sean, he was like on this diet, and he had like blueberries and like nuts, and you'd have them, and he would start doing this when he would hear the music, and then he would spill them. He'd be like, "Oh my gosh!" It was kind of funny.
So how does that process work? Do you all meet up at one point, or in one, in Nashville, or did?
Yeah, we went to Dawson Studios, Billy Dawson Studios, and we just met up there. And
did they have a set amount of time you guys sat down, or they just said, "Hey, we're going to write today"? Or
yeah, well, they set up to write, and once they wrote Heaven's Window, which was really fast,
it was like an hour.
But then we were in the studio recording it for about 12 hours, I think, and Ava gets hangry.
She
was like
hungry. I was not psycho. I was just like, I'm ready to get this over.
So do you like write the lyrics first, and then you show up, and then the rest of the song comes together?
They sat down and wrote all together.
Oh, okay. All right, but you had, of course, you had what you wanted. You're right, an idea, and
I was going to say, did they sit down with like an acoustic guitar? I mean, how'd they figure out the music on it?
Billy had already like an idea of what the music, like how
okay.
he had some ideas. So he just went off of that, and then it progressed on all the people that got to play on it and everything. So we would go like with the lyrics and stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
Like Jenny Fleener did keys. She played piano on one or two of the songs. She did background vocals. She did her fiddle. I mean, she contributed a lot to each of the tracks. So it was really cool. All of them did. I mean, Sean did drums on all of them and stuff.
Wow, that's crazy, man. I've never been involved in something like that. So that's why
I
I'm
was going to
asking.
say, seeing all that come together when you got there and you go through that process, it's got to be you're working with basically geniuses,
Professionals.
You're like, what?
Yeah, I was very like, whoa.
Overwhelmed.
Yeah.
How it all came together.
Yeah, and I was really excited about it. It was just like, it was kind of like stars. Is it called
Yeah.
Starstruck? Yeah, I was like, can't believe this is happening.
Right.
Wow.
It's understandable. That kind of thing is, like I said, I'm trying not to geek out about it because the recording stuff is pretty interesting to me. But and a lot of people be like, whatever. The music's awesome, whatever. And it turned out awesome. I mean, I love the song, of course. I mean, it plays 2 or 3 times a day in my house, no matter what. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I mean, we listen to it a lot. So, now they helped write that other song. Did you just wrote the one song and then you did some covers?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wrote that Heaven's Window, and then I did 2 covers.
So these are the first 3 songs, basically, that you have.
Well, she recorded a song in Branson that was on a CD. She recorded How Great Thou Art. That was like a fundraiser project for a nonprofit. But these are the actual first 3, like that will be licensed and
Right.
Yeah, and
Wow.
and all that. So
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's real stuff, man.
Yeah.
Okay, well now that we kind of set up the song itself, tell us about the award. The accolades you're starting to get for it.
Okay, so I was nominated for 2 Native American Music Awards, and the first one was Best Music Video Narrative, and the second one was Independent Recording Artist, right?
It was Best Independent Recording by a New Artist.
Heaven's Window, Ava Rose Johnson. Yeah, and I won the independent recording.
We really didn't think she could win that one. Not that she's not talented and the music wasn't amazing, but in that category there was 151 people in the nomination process, 150 adults and 1 child, and she was the only.
That was going to be my next question. So she was the only child?
Yeah.
And so I know that you were the youngest to ever be nominated.
To be nominated and to win. There was actually a kid nominated, we have found out, that was 12 or 11 or 12, but he didn't win. He was the youngest to win, their youngest winner.
So before you go ahead and talk about that whole experience.
Because I'm anxious to get to it. Go ahead.
Right, and I'm going to ask a question about the experience. And I've always wondered, do you know if you're going to win beforehand? And I know that you didn't think that she would probably win because there were so many, but I didn't know like before you actually, because there was the actual awards, and you go and you sit down and you. So did you know at that point?
Did they say get an acceptance speech together?
Yeah.
Or anything
No.
like that?
No. So when you were sitting there at this and you were thinking, I mean, of course you were hoping, but you were thinking there's a chance that you may not win. And so when they called your name, I mean, were you shocked? Were you?
Yeah, I was just like,
Like,
whoa! I was like, I can't believe I won this category.
wow. So I was wondering if you knew beforehand. I guess not.
No, I did not.
Wow.
But I got to present an award too.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
And was it before or after you won?
It was
After.
After?
Yeah.
So you were still, like, oh yeah, this is great.
Yeah.
You didn't get a chance to present the award and warm up before you actually won the award. You did it after you won the award.
See, she handled it way better than me. I would have done like a victory lap or something like that. I had to run around the room or something.
Well,
She's
we were
definitely
literally
handled it like a
sitting
pro.
by some people that did like
Yes.
When they won, they
They, like,
jumped up and screamed
Really?
and running.
They
Yeah.
threw their hats. They're like, woo!
Scared me. I was like,
Yeah.
you know,
I
I've had
wanted.
too much active shooter training. We were like, run.
Were there a lot of people there?
Yes.
It was sold out event. It was
Wow.
It
max
was a
capacity.
big-
And where was this at?
Niagara Falls at the Seneca.
Yeah, Seneca Casino and Resort in Niagara Falls, New York.
Wow.
Wes Studi, Oscar-winning Wes Studi was the
Yeah.
host, and
Mickey
WWE's Mickey James. But they actually, and they didn't tell us they were going to do this. Go ahead.
Yeah, they played my video and song at the beginning of the
Oh,
show.
wow.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
we
played.
had no idea they were going to do it.
Yeah, they played me and one other girl, and that's it.
So you're like, wait a minute.
I would have been like, I got
might,
this.
We might have a shot.
Well, we were like visiting with everyone at our table, and then we were like this, got our phones out and started recording.
Yeah, I was
What are
like-
y'all doing, you know?
When I heard it, I was like, oh, Mom.
They're playing my
Because
song.
it was on all the jumbotrons, you know, around the room
Yeah.
and all that, and it was the video. It was really cool.
Wow.
So it was neat.
Yeah.
The whole experience was great, I'm sure.
Yeah, I got to meet Wes Studi, and you know he's Cherokee. I spoke in Cherokee. I said OCO, and he started saying things I did not know.
So he speaks quite a bit of Cherokee or something?
Yeah, he's Cherokee.
He only spoke Cherokee until he was 6 years old. And then once he started going to public school, they forced him to learn English.
I did not know that.
Wow.
So it was intimidating because some of the other people that won awards that night, before Ava won, was Wes Studi won a Native American Music Award that night. Mickey James won an award, and so did Portugal the Man. You know, they all won awards. So it was like, I mean, they're very famous people, you know. So it was
Very
like,
famous.
She's like, Mickey's like the most decorated female wrestler in WWE. She was like the first. She like paved the way for women wrestlers. And
Yeah, they showed a video of her like in the wrestling and stuff, and I was like, I would not want to get in a fight with her. She's like, I was like, no, like I would be scared.
yeah, one of the guys got up there and was like, I wish she'd come out here and flip me or something. And she screamed from backstage, you wish. You know?
What kind of guy was Wes Studi? Was he pretty nice to you and everything? I know he spoke to you in Cherokee and all that.
He's really funny.
Really?
Yeah.
He seemed like just interviews I've seen. He seemed like a kind of a neat guy, down to earth kind of guy.
Now going to this event, you knew that he was going to be.
Yes.
So did you watch any of his movies or?
I've seen them.
Oh, you have?
Yeah, I've like watched Avatar.
Yes.
Yeah, and Dad used to be obsessed with Avatar. I remember. And then what was the? Did I see another one?
She kept getting confused because everybody was calling him Magua or Magua or whatever
Oh, yeah.
from The Last of the Mohicans. She'd be like, I thought his name was Wes. You know?
Yeah, he was awesome in Last Mohicans.
His name's not Wes.
Yes. When people were calling him
Oh,
By
the
his-
name
yeah.
from the movie.
Yes.
I was about to say.
But
Yeah.
when we got there, I didn't go with her. They had to do rehearsals because she announced the awards, so she got to meet them all before and stuff. I went to Canada, but when we came back over and when we went to the actual awards, I mean, he saw her and he called her by name. He's like, Ava, come here, you know, and
Yeah, we got to take a picture with him. We got to take a picture with him, and he like held his hand out. So you know, like when those people like here, like this.
Oh
Yeah.
He did that, and we got to do that pose and stuff, and it was fun. He was like, "You look beautiful, Ava."
Wow, that's nice of him.
Yeah.
Sounded like he was pretty personable then.
but it was kind of embarrassing because my mom went with
Yes.
us, and he was like that. He like really liked Ava. You know, he was talking to her. He was kind enough. He was like, "Come take a picture with me." Blah blah blah. And there were some radio stations there that do podcasts and things that were taking pictures. And then he was like, "Thank you," you know. And Ava was like, "Thanks for taking pictures." My mom goes running like, "Ah!" like screaming.
"Wait,
She's like, "Wait!" And he's like scared. You know, he like grabs Ava and moves her between them.
Yeah,
He's
and-
like, "Keep this crazy white woman away from me." And I was like, "I'm the grandma." And he was like,
Yeah, she was
"Okay."
like, "I'm the grandma. I gotta take a picture. My husband's a great fan." I was like,
God.
"He is." You're like running at
I'm
him.
glad I was not there.
It
for
was
this, dude.
embarrassing.
I'm glad I did not see this.
Yeah, it was really
You know,
embarrassing.
imagine.
Yeah, and I have a funny story actually. When
Do tell.
Yes, and so we went over. What are you laughing? Okay, so when we went over to Canada, because it's like right by the border, you know, we got we were like fined and everything, you know, and we walked out of like this garden thing. Is it like garden? And there's a free duty.
No, duty free.
Oh, duty free.
I don't know where we're going with this. I don't
I
know.
can't wait.
And so, free duty.
It's duty free. You don't have to pay taxes. It's a store that's on every border. When you go, it's duty free. You can buy stuff without paying taxes in either country.
Yeah, so we go over
Oh,
there,
okay.
and there's a sidewalk. You know, normal people walk sidewalks. Okay, we don't. We walk in duck lines. You know, like it was my dad, then me, then my mom. And there are these.
Sounds like Nathan, yeah.
There's these closing gates, like, you know, like the railroad. They're like this.
Mm-hmm.
And Dad walks through them perfectly fine. I walk through it. It's raining. And I was about to look up because Mom yelled at me to, to caution me. And I get hit in the head with it.
Oh, God.
Well, you said it was a funny story, so I'm going to laugh at that. It's probably not funny, but I'm going to laugh anyways.
Yeah, and it hurt bad.
Really?
Yeah. I thought it was a
terrible.
lamppost.
We were in the
So it's not
duty
funny.
free for like 3.5, 4 hours. They were trying to figure out how to get her medical treatment because they were afraid.
Really? You had to go to
concussion.
get to the doctor?
Well, they have socialized medicine in Canada, so we were trying to figure out how if our insurances would, if the tribe would pay, you know, through the Indian Health or
It would be like
anything.
$45,000.
And they said before we'll see her, you've got to give us $900 cash. And then we were like, we'll just cross the border and we'll go to an Indian hospital up there in New York because there's one there. I mean, or a regular emergency room.
So you had to go to the doctor?
No.
We just
okay.
We just, because it got better because my dad called Nanny and
So I laughed and it's not funny.
all the kids in my grade laugh at me and make fun
Way to
of
go,
me.
Ben.
But she said it was a funny story. So get to the funny part. Or was that the funny part?
That was the funny part.
So this thing came down and hit you in the head.
Right here.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah, this side. No?
Jeez.
Oh,
What
yeah.
made it come down? I mean, what was the deal?
They
What was-
said the rain was causing it to malfunction.
And you were walking
Yeah.
between your mom and dad, and it hit you?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my gosh, man. Why couldn't it hit him?
Yeah, I know.
What is the deal?
I think it scared her more than anything. She's been a little dramatic about it.
But it did stop going away because we called my nanny, and then she started praying for me. And it, the thing, what is it
Oh,
called?
did you have a knot or something?
Knot?
Yeah, and it went down, and then I
Wow.
felt better.
You can count on your nanny for that.
Yep.
I guarantee you. She's always praying about something.
Yeah, and we didn't
There's
even
nothing
get
wrong with
anything
that.
free out of it.
Yeah, nothing free.
No free duty.
Oh, that's what I was wondering where we were going with the duty part. I was like, what is this, like a dog park or
No,
something like that? They're supposed to let duty in
There's
there?
a duty free at every border.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
I didn't know what
in
that was. I've
airports,
never heard
in,
of that.
They have them in Mexico and every country. I think has duty free at their borders.
It's named after Lucas because it's Lukey Dookie, you know?
Yeah. Dookie free.
They mainly have liquor and cologne and
Cigarettes, probably.
cigarettes.
Yeah.
Candy.
Hey, I did get something free. I got chocolate.
Oh, yeah.
I got little
She does.
chocolate.
How'd you get that for free?
They said, here, you can take this.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that was nice of them.
Yeah.
Did you hear anybody speak French while you were in Canada?
One time.
Yeah, one time he was in this store, and I wanted to so bad. I wanted him to say a sentence for me,
Mm-hmm.
and they're like, none of them could speak it.
They
We
all
would
spoke
ask.
English.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I was 16 years old. I went to Canada, and I did not know that they spoke.
I knew this was going somewhere.
French.
I knew there was a reason you asked this question.
Yeah, I went in there, and there was two women behind the counter at a little, handy stop, and one was speaking perfect English, and one was speaking, I guess, perfect French, and they were just having a conversation back and forth, and I was like, I had no idea what was going on, and I got out in the car, and my uncles that I was with, they were like, yeah, they speak French here, and I was like, oh yeah, that's right.
French
I
Canadian.
completely was not ready for that. But I remember we had my uncle had cigarettes, and going in, trying to cross the border, they were like, if you have cigarettes, you have to pay a certain amount of money for each cigarette that
Really?
you have because you have a minor in the car. and so he had to just throw his cigarettes away, basically, or give them the cigarettes. I guess I can't remember exactly how it happened, but it seemed like since he had a minor in the car or something like that. But then I remember crossing over and seeing like the packs of cigarettes were like, or the cartons or whatever was really cheap, and so it was like, I guess
Worked
it kind
out
of
for
worked
his
out for
habit
him
or whatever.
in that little area, right over the border. So, but that was many moons ago.
Well, see, on our way up there, we flew out of, where did we fly out of? Fayetteville. Arkansas, and that airport's way out in the middle of like
Nowhere,
a field. It's
yeah.
like nothing around it. But I had tore my calf muscle and I was in a boot, and
This is where the free stuff comes in.
yes, and they had to change our seating because they wanted me closer to the front, and they said, well, we'll have to have you escorted out on a wheelchair. And I said, no, I can walk, it's fine. They were like, no, when you get to Chicago, we'll have a wheelchair waiting for you, you have to take the wheelchair. And I said, I can walk, I'm fine, and they were like, no, we have it set up, it'll be faster for you. I said, fine. So we get off the plane, and there's this little Hispanic lady standing at the door, and she goes, oh, good God, when she sees me. And I was like, what? And she's like, get in the seat. So she's like freaking out because our next flight is like 20 minutes before
It's
they
not
close the
even
gate.
20 minutes. It was like they closed the gates when we got on the plane.
Yeah, they were waiting for us. They were like holding up the
Well,
flight
good
for
thing
us.
tell me what airline that was to hold the
American
line.
Airline. It was
Well, American Airlines did not hold the gate up for me. But go ahead.
Well,
You weren't disabled.
Nathan
was disabled.
I had that boot on, and she started trying to push me up the deal, and I was like, "You're gonna flip me over," and I started laughing because she's like, couldn't push me. And I was like, "Let me get out and walk," and she's like, "Stop laughing! You think this is funny, sir? It is not funny. Quit laughing!" She's like screaming at me, and all these people are like.
She was speaking in Spanish, right?
Well, not at that point. She was still speaking in English, and I can speak about a 4-year-old level of Spanish,
Right.
So we get into the airport, and she's pushing, and she's like screaming at people to get out of the way, and it's like a super busy airport. And there's a big incline because where our gate was way
It's
around
like
it.
this.
Of
She
course there
starts
is.
screaming in Spanish as she's going up the hill. She's going, "Ayúdame, Dios, ayúdame, Dios." She's like, "Help me, God, help me, God." And then she starts screaming, "Help me, Jesus, help me, Jesus." Because she'd have to stop, and we were rolling backwards, and she'd be pushing the chair.
I would-
We were rolling down the
my
hill.
God.
And I was like, "Let me out of the chair." And she had me buckled in. She's like, "Be still and you won't flip." And then she was like, "Help me, Jesus," in Spanish.
I wanted
And
to
there were
help her
people
so
like-
Is this
bad.
real life?
Yeah, everybody was like filming me in the airport. They were like,
Oh, my
"Loser,
God.
look at him, that poor little lady." She's like, pushing, and
Do you have video of this?
Heather did have
Yes.
video of it. But it was horrible. I mean, she screamed the whole way. We finally got to the top of the hill. She was like crying and like, "Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, God, for the strength." And I'm like mortified. I'm like, "Let me out of this chair." And she kept telling me, don't move, you won't fall."
Yes, they were going down like this thing to get on the plane, and he was like, just let me out. And she's like, if you don't move, it will not flip. Just stay still.
Were you really close to flipping?
Yeah,
Yes.
she's like crazy driver. But like when we finally got on level ground, when we were getting closer, and she started running with me in a wheelchair, screaming at people, and she started cussing in Spanish. She was like, well, I won't say what she said, but anyway, she's like cussing and all this, but she's screaming, "Chair coming through, move!"
Chair coming through.
She was like screaming, and I'm like looking around because all these people are like taking pictures and filming. This lady's
Looking.
screaming.
Did you have your phone out and videoing this whole
I was like holding on for dear life because this lady, and I felt horrible. So I was like, I can walk, I mean,
Right.
It's not that serious. And then I can't find Heather. I was like,
And
"Where's
we're
my
videoing.
family? Where's my family?" And I like look back there, and they're like videoing and taking pictures with all the other.
I told my mom, I was like, I want to help her so bad, but I want to watch her struggle.
It was horrible.
Yeah.
It was embarrassing. It was really embarrassing.
Well, you have to
She's
understand
screaming.
they do travel a lot, and
Mm-hmm.
there's always one story about Nathan like that at every
Every
trip
trip.
they make. Like
So
whenever-
his luck is about like mine. Something will happen.
well, like we were talking about earlier about whenever Carter went with them and they performed in California,
Mm-hmm.
and Gavin went too.
No, that's when we went to San Diego. Is when Gavin went.
Oh, okay. Well, was that whenever you were freaking out when y'all were getting on the boat or
Yeah,
whatever?
we had taken
yes.
a ferry over to the island from the mainland to Coronado Island.
Oh, yeah.
And we were getting back on the ferry, and the guy said, Gavin and Carter stepped on the boat, and he said, stop, stop, stop. And I thought they were saying the ferry was full, and I thought he was trying to separate us. And I just went crazy on the guy. I was like, those are my kids. You can't separate us. You know, and he was like, what? You know, and I was like, those are my kids. What are you trying to do? He's like, dude, I was just trying to wait until the boat stopped rocking. You know, and Gavin and Carter were like scared. You know,
We don't know this guy, sir.
Gavin's
Save
face
us.
was priceless. He was like, can't believe you.
but I was like, give me my kids.
It was so funny.
Both the boys said he was psycho about him the entire time, which is good. You know, I'm glad he's watching out for him and all that. But
Well, hey man, when you're in California, especially in that area, you've got to stay close.
Yeah.
because
Well-
it's easy to get
Yeah.
separated.
Well, and we've taken
There's so
we've been
many
to New
people.
York twice, New York City, with large groups of kids, and trying to get 50 people from the hotel onto the subway down to Coney Island to perform, or to BB King's.
He
Oh my
holds a
gosh.
glitter stick, because we had to do like this dance, and he'll hold it and he'll wave it.
Because I literally have 50 people behind me following me through millions of people,
Right.
in New York City. So,
And this is stuff that you're basically learning as you go, right?
because I've never done it. I mean, we didn't travel like places like that. I mean, my dad would take us to the mountains. Anywhere we went was always in the middle of nowhere to camp.
Right.
And
definitely.
I wasn't involved in any kind of performing or singing or anything like that, other than what we did at our house around a campfire or something.
Right.
But so it's all learning as you go, and it's been fun though. I mean, we've
Yeah, I actually have a very, very embarrassing, most funniest video. I don't know why I said video. Most funniest story ever. It's about my mom.
I was gonna say,
Yeah.
I mean, it can't be any
It's-
more embarrassing than
see
a
your mom-
thing hitting you in the
should see
head.
your mom
right?
look up whenever you said that. It was hilarious. Go ahead.
Yeah, because we do have an
wish we-
audience today.
I wish we had that on camera because it was funny.
So, we went to Atlanta, Georgia for the Gospel Spin Awards, and I co-host.
you co-hosted
Yeah.
the pre-show on Friday night. This
Yeah.
is just a couple of week before last we went to Atlanta, and then this last week we went to Niagara, New York. So
Oh, wow.
we've been gone for like a couple of weeks, but
Yeah.
And this is more embarrassing than you getting hit in the
Yes,
head and him
very.
getting pushed through an
Yes.
airport by. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
So we go into this like super high end like mall, and it's like for like it has Gucci, like Louis Vuitton, and all that, like Tesla.
it had a Tesla store, but it was in Buckhead, which is like the financial district of Atlanta. So it was like the Lenox Mall. It's like a very high end. The downstairs were all high end designers and stuff like
Yeah.
that. And we went into the Armani store.
Yes, Armani. So we were looking at all these clothes, and before that, me and my mom was like, because it's like I have to look nice, and I only brought heels, and I was like, I'm not wearing heels. So I had my Crocs, and I was wearing nice jeans, nice top, and a fake Gucci belt. And
Oh,
That's
God.
some real talk right there.
We pay for nothing.
Yeah.
It's real. Or full price for nothing.
And so she was like, you can just wear my other flats, and I'll have to wear these character high heels. So, and they don't have a big heel on them. They're like this small. And so I get to wear those. We go in the Armani store, right? And looking at everything and stuff.
So you're thinking you're gonna go in there and look for something to buy?
Yeah, she thinks
Okay.
she's all been because they had a really nice brand new giant SUV driving us around. So Ava's thinking she's all this big hot shot.
You probably
because
did. You just didn't understand.
Lots of good fun stuff, and then
Yeah, and then Mom has to embarrass us. And we're walking out of the Armani store.
You're walking out of the Armani store.
Yes,
This is
and
after you-
she falls.
like to the floor, like down. Like she's laying on the ground and there's people everywhere.
Is there video
And
of
we're
this?
like, what are you doing? Get up. So we're like having to pick her up.
So she did like the jelly leg thing, like the
Yeah, it
models
was
do.
like
Like,
slid down and like
Yeah, it
there
was
was like a little
hump.
incline.
Yeah, and she walks and she goes, boom, lands on her back. I was like, I just like one of them.
You just wanted to.
We were like, can you do that again so we can get our Snapchat ready?
And Mom was mad because Dad was like, and I was like, it's not funny because when that stuff happens, I'm like serious, but when I think about it, it's like ah.
Right. Yeah.
And so I was
Well, you were worried about it at first.
yeah, and Dad was laughing. I was like, stop. And I was like, don't do that. It's gonna make her mad. And so she got a little mad about it. And I was like, are you okay? She was like, my back just hurts a little. And I was like,
Oh, that's all? Okay.
Yeah.
We'll go ahead and laugh now.
We met a lot of really cool people though in Atlanta, and there was a lot of we met. She co-hosted the pre-show and then sang at the Spin Awards, which are award shows for radio stations, radio DJs, things like that. That's award shows for the radio stations. So us being there and her getting to sing there, we met a ton of different people from radio stations and DJs, and now they're starting to play her music on all their stations, which is really
Wow.
cool. And we got,
played in Europe.
yeah, her music's been playing in Europe and all these different places.
Now, is it mainly being played on like Christian radio? Or
Mostly, yeah. And it's Heaven's Window was initially kind of a country crossover song, but it's being played more on like gospel stations.
Yeah.
And the funny thing though about the Spin Awards, that the Friday night was the pre-show, and we met a lot of really cool people, and then you walk the red carpet at the other event. It's like a really nice event. Everybody's dressed up, real nice. So we get all dressed up in our best clothes. We're super excited about going to this event, walking down the red carpet. We call in an Uber. And literally, our Uber pulls up. It has 4 different rims and wheels on it. Paint peeling off of it. This giant guy inside stinks like I don't even know what. His dash is all taped up. And it's like we can't even get in. It's like the door falls off when you open it. I've never had an Uber that bad. So we get in it and we're like, oh my gosh. Everybody else is like getting dropped off in Hummers and
Right.
limos.
Porsches, no.
Lincolns, nice vehicles. We pull up and this thing is like backfiring and the different rims and the dash is all taped together. And we're like, thanks.
Did you give him 4 stars or whatever?
Yeah, I don't even know if I ranked him or not. We were just...
Yeah, because if you can like rank them, and we got told this in Disneyland, I think, and you can rank them, and if you don't treat them nice, you can get they rank you, and if you get like low, you can get kicked off kicked off the app.
See, I don't know how Uber works. So did it not show like a picture of his car and a picture of him?
It just says, it shows a picture of him, and then it says, they just pull an image of what type of vehicle it is.
Oh.
So it said it was a Chrysler,
Looks super nice.
like those Chrysler station wagon things. I can't think what they're called.
The Magnum?
Pacifica.
Oh, okay.
It
And
looked nice in the picture.
They
remember?
just like pull a generic picture off that, and then it's got a picture of him. But when it pulled up and it had all different rims
Completely
and tires,
different.
It's
it
like
like
this.
had a tractor tire on the back or something. It looked like a mud tire. We were like, this cannot be real.
I would think they would want a picture of like him standing in front of his car, beside his car or something, so that, because you hear horror stories of
Yeah.
people getting into, that girl in New York that got in the Uber and she thought it was an Uber, but it was just a guy sitting in his car, and yeah, it didn't end well for her.
Well, that's when my mom and my aunt decided they were going to go to New York. They were real scared to do Uber. They said, well, what if someone tries to get us or kidnap us or rape us?
Right.
I said, no offense, but y'all are both like 70. No one wants y'all. Don't flatter yourself. You're not their target people, man.
I can be an Uber driver. I've signed up to do it. I was thinking about doing it for extra money, for real. You can go up to like Tulsa and or Dallas, go down there and like say Friday night, Saturday night when the clubs are closing, and you register in the local Uber pool or whatever, and whenever they ask for an Uber, you can accept it and
Well, I think that's pretty cool, but I think it's weird that you've never mentioned that to me before.
I don't know why. I don't know. I didn't think about it, but I mean, now that when they were talking about it, I was like, oh yeah, I forgot I'm an Uber driver. But I've never done it. You know, I was like, oh, that'd be a cool way to make extra money, and I never did anything with it. But
Not
you know,
yet.
and they send me emails and all kinds of crap. You know,
Really?
so yeah.
Is there Uber drivers in McAllister?
No.
No.
Oh my gosh, your son Carter Jude told me there was.
Well,
Because I was
Be
like,
careful
there
with what you say.
cannot be one in McAllister, and he's like,
Well,
yes.
there is a taxi. There is
Oh.
there's a
Rover, isn't it?
yeah. So there's there's that, and there's another taxi service too, I think, and it's about like the Uber you rode in. I've seen it around town, and I'm like,
It's terrible.
I would rather walk from here to
in McAllister?
Walmart. Yeah,
no, they got those. Have you seen the electric ones that they've got now, though?
that's what we've been talking about.
That's
since-
the Rover, yeah.
Yeah, the Rover.
What? No. I'm talking about.
It's called Rover.
Is that what it
The
is?
electric ones, yeah. They're all plugged in right down the street.
Oh, well, what's
They're
wrong with them?
electric.
They look nice. What I saw.
I said there's another taxi service.
Oh, see,
Where
I
you
was,
at?
I
Are you
was
here?
I was trying to pull up one of my Uber
Oh, okay.
emails because I was going to
There's
talk
another
about
taxi
it.
service that is.
Sorry, I
it-
apologize.
It looks like it's been in a few accidents, and and it's probably not their fault. No. I don't want to bash on them. They may be really nice people, but it still looks like the Uber that they talked about. And this is
They're,
going
like,
to the Spin
watching.
Awards, right?
Yeah, I mean, it was like nice.
So you
Everybody's like
roll up.
dressed real nice.
You know what that reminds me of? Remember the movie Mask with Jim Carrey? And he goes outside and he calls for his car, and it's like this backfiring and all that. He's like, that's not my car.
That's
And we're like,
literally
yeah, it
what
is,
it
sir.
was like. Yeah, that was what it was like.
I forgot about that. That's
Not my
hilarious.
car.
We Uber though everywhere we go. We
Really?
use Uber, like in New York and all that. We always Uber.
And is it,
Works out pretty good every time.
Yeah, we've always had a great.
Yeah,
experience.
Dad wants to walk all the time, which my
Nothing wrong with that.
mom is like.
well, she
"Shut
falls
up."
down.
Yeah, she's super slow, and she like does not want to walk anywhere.
You're going to be
So-
grounded after this.
So we always have to use Uber. That's the main reason.
Is it cheaper than a taxi?
Yes, it is cheaper than a taxi, but I mean it's
They
still,
like charge like a lot more when you're going like 2 blocks away though.
yeah.
Really?
Like Heather.
Because they don't want to show up and just drive you 2 blocks.
Well, it depends on who you're with. Heather gets whining if she gets tired, and we were less than. It was like 0.4 miles from our hotel,
Oh.
and she demanded we get an Uber. It was raining. It didn't. We're not going to melt,
She's saying it's
and we're
right.
definitely not going to float or melt or anything. But
We can get our
We should
hair
have got her a
messed
mic
up.
so she could defend herself.
Yes.
actually.
but I mean, it was you
Yeah,
have to pay
but you
for
gotta
it.
remember, girls' hair, it can frizz and it can flatten.
Well, I wouldn't
My
want to walk in
mom
the rain either.
loves it, all big and poofy.
So, when you went to New York, is there less taxis you think now, or is it just the same amount
There were taxis
since
everywhere.
Uber is taking
it
over?
was-
I just wondered. I've never been to New York City. Been to New York a bunch of times, but never been downtown.
We really like New York City. I mean, there's still a lot of taxis and stuff. The first time we went, we drove, which was like insane.
It
I was
was-
like, had to roll the windows down, and just scream at people. I was like, "Get out of the way! You want to meet Jesus?" Like crazy.
Jeez.
And but we tried to take the subway, but the second time we went, they closed the subway down because there was a homeless guy that kept shoving people in front of the trains,
And they would, yeah.
and it was killing them. He had killed I don't know how
Yeah,
many
I've seen,
people. while we
you haven't
were
heard of this? You haven't heard? Dude, it's a thing in all cities with subways.
He was mentally ill, and if they stepped on the yellow line or over the yellow line, he would just walk up and shove them in front of the train when it came.
Have you not seen the video of the Asian lady that tries to push the lady in front of the train and she doesn't go? Like she messed up, tried to push her in front of it and all this. You
I
haven't
don't
seen
think
those
so.
videos? Oh man, that's craziness when it comes to that.
First
stuff.
of all, I'm not standing by a train when it's coming. For someone, you know what I mean?
A lot of people do, because it's like up and it's like, there's like it's like that, and then it's like, whoop.
Yeah, I mean, I know
But
that
it's like
they're
yellow.
used to it, so it's just like, they're not getting pushed in front of a train every day, but that one time
Yeah,
is all it takes.
I could
You know,
see
you're-
Dad getting pushed because when the subway comes, he's like,
I'd like-
Snapchat.
I'd really like to see it. Somebody push Nathan in front of the train. It'd be like, ugh, and he wouldn't move or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'd be like, oh,
Well,
like
it's like,
Mickey James. Oh.
I don't know, man. People were. I read a story the other day that or I heard about a story the other day from a guy that went to a restaurant with his wife, and she was like, or get pizza or something, and he went into the bathroom and got stabbed in the bathroom.
That doesn't surprise me.
Just like that,
We've traveled so much and met so many just insane people just randomly.
Yes.
We were in Chinatown.
I can't imagine.
Well, it's like crazy. When you walk through Chinatown in New York City, the Asian ladies come up and they're like, "You want Louis? You want Louis? You want Gucci? I got Gucci." And I'm like, "No, I don't have any money." And all of them always want to rub my belly, say, "You got big belly. You eat good. You got lots of money." But we were dealing with them one day trying to get to Big Wong's, which is the name of a Chinese restaurant there in Chinatown. And we went into a store, and
Not surprised you threw that in at all. Go
but
ahead.
this guy just like he just got super mad because I asked him if he'd take $5 off of a hoodie, and he was like, "You think I'm giving stuff away for free here? Get out of my effing store!" He kicked me out of the store and stuff. So
Yeah, so if you watch me walk around town with Gucci and all this on, it's fake. $20. $20, everyone.
yeah, we try to haggle with him.
Yeah, Dad, we got this Gucci belt, and I've wanted it for a long time. And Dad got it down to $20. It started out at 60, and Dad was like, "Sorry, $20 is all I have."
Is this in Chinatown?
Yeah,
Yes.
in New York.
Oh, okay.
And
So I was right when I said that earlier. I don't know if anybody caught that, but I said, "Is this where you got your Gucci belt?"
yeah,
Okay.
Chinatown. And so we get that, and we aren't really paying attention. And Zaina and Mom are making a big deal out of it. They're like, "Oh, let me see it, let me see it, let me see it." And Dad's like, "No, don't get it out." And so we walk down, and this guy's like, "Louis, Louis, Gucci, Gucci." And Dad's like, "Sorry, all I have is $20. He said, "You lie. I just watched you buy belt from my sister." And I'm like, "It's
got
green.
caught.
Watch that."
I was like, let's go. Move.
That's awesome. You got busted.
That's very
lowballing
funny.
people.
That's very funny. Hey, if it looks like Gucci, who
It
cares?
does. It does.
You guys
Excellent.
are
Yeah.
cleaning out the closet. You are telling all the secrets right now. We know that of course, you got Heaven's Window going on, all the stuff that's going on with that, and you've got another cover that's out.
Yes. So Will I by Hillsong.
Okay. All right. So, what do you have coming up? I mean, as far as your music goes, what's coming up?
Tell him. Go ahead.
What's
What do you
the
mean?
future?
Well, she recorded another song. We'll be going to not Santa Fe, Albuquerque, New Mexico, to shoot the video within the next couple of months for the other song, which we haven't released the name of what song that is.
I was about to say it. I'm glad I didn't.
Glad you didn't too.
And then
We could cut it out though.
We were contacted Friday by the Grammy Foundation, and we have a meeting with the Grammy Foundation on Monday.
Now that is incredible.
That's crazy.
It really is crazy. I mean, we all were like in tears at first. I mean,
Right.
it was just so
How did
shocking.
they contact you? I mean, the email or I mean,
They
what
were
did
actually at the Native American Music Awards. They work with them because it's the 19th annual Native American Music Awards. So it's structured exactly like the Grammys. So the Grammys give out 2 Native American awards at the Grammys. They're not televised usually. It's not one of the main awards that they televise, but there's several awards that the Grammys do that aren't televised.
Right.
And 2 of them are Native American awards, and so they attend that event. And I guess it helps them possibly find nominees for the Grammys.
Wow.
Yeah, makes sense. It makes so that.
So
that's-
at this point, you're not sure to what extent.
Yeah, it may. I mean, that doesn't mean anything. I mean, it's just a meeting. I mean, they offer other things. I'm
Right.
sure there's workshops and different things. I mean, that's just I don't know what all.
Yeah, but
Right.
people perform at that thing, and all. I mean, there's
Right.
a
Well, it's
myriad of
still
things
a-
that could be. I mean,
Yeah.
it's no telling. That's pretty exciting.
Very
I mean,
exciting.
It's neat. It's neat.
Yeah.
See, I get told these things, and I get told, listen, it's a secret. You can't tell anybody, but. And then he'll tell me this huge news. So I have to carry it around. You know what I mean? And half the time, if you talk to Heather, it's not as near a big a secret as Nathan's making it out to be. He like makes me all scared that I'm going to spill the beans on something. She's like, yeah, you can go ahead and tell him that. I'm like, oh, okay. So
Yeah,
Nathan's always a
because
little dramatic about it.
If we tell my mom anything, she posts it on Facebook.
That's
Yes.
Before we can even say, don't say nothing.
true. Very
Right.
true.
You know, and it's like, we're like, delete.
Yeah, like Zaina, my sister, she's getting married in, I think, 13 days.
13 days?
Yeah, November
Congratulations.
23rd.
Wow.
Yeah. And
That's
because
like the
today's
day
the.
before Thanksgiving, isn't it?
No.
When is Thanksgiving?
28th.
Oh, okay. Listen, I'm ready for pie, and I'm ready for turkey and dressing. I'm ready for it all, so it can't get here soon enough. But go ahead.
What was I talking about? I can't even remember.
I'm sorry, I cut you right off. You're talking about your sister's wedding.
Ben does it all the time. Don't worry. I have the same problem with him.
Yeah.
She's like,
Zaina.
don't ever do that again.
Nanny.
Nanny, yes. When Zaina got proposed to, first I'm going to tell you this one story. Okay, so I was like prepared. And I got like super mad over something because my hair wasn't like turning out how I wanted it to because we were like doing this thing. And at first it was like a surprise party for me because I just released So Will I. And I thought that's what it was. Like I was super excited because, you know, I was like, yay, they're doing it for me, you know? And so my hair wasn't turning out and I was like having this big finish something. And Dad's like, be in a good mood, Ava. And so he comes into my bedroom. I'm laying down. I'm just like stressed out because my hair won't turn out. And he's like, do you want to be my helper? I was like, what are you even talking about? You know, I was like super mad. And he was like, come to my bedroom. And I was like, okay. So I was like, I was finally in a good mood. And he kept on saying, do you want to be my helper? And he was like, you can't tell. I was like, okay. He was like, don't cry, okay? I was like, okay. He was like, Jude is proposing to Zayn. I was like, oh my god! I was like, he is? And I was like, yeah, but you can't tell. Stop crying. I was like, okay. And then when Jude did it, I could see Nanny when she walked in. She already had her camera pulled up, and I was like, oh my gosh! And
She's gonna know.
Yeah,
That's what
and
you were thinking.
yeah,
She's
and
gonna
I
give
thought,
it away.
yeah, and I thought she could see it because I could see it when I was sitting because I went through when she left to go get Jude. I was clearing out all my storage and everything, so I had pictures and I can just slide over. But Nanny don't know she can do that, so she already had it pulled up, and we were standing there. Everyone was sat down, but Jude and Zaina, and Jude always sits down, and. Jude and Zaina's like, sit down, weirdo. That's her word. She always says weirdo. It's like everything she says.
Because everybody's weird.
Yeah. And he's like, I have something to say.
No, he said, no.
No.
Before I sit down, I have something to say.
And Zaina went, I wish we would have had that on video because her face was priceless.
She knew at that point when he said that?
Did you?
No, I was just like, what are you about to say? Like, stop.
I would be tripped out too, because he's.
Yeah.
I mean, he's kind of a quiet guy anyway. So
Yeah, he don't really talk in front of like the whole family. So he like said this speech, and I was videoing it. And when he was about to get down on one knee, I went, oh, and she can't even use the video because I'm in the background. And when we leave, you know, we take all these pictures, and Nanny already posted it before we could even post it. Yeah.
She did. She didn't ask anybody or anything.
No.
Oh my god, that sounds like her though.
Yeah.
She just wants to be first, no matter what. She wants to spill the beans.
I kind of got some. I have to be the first person on the airplane. If I don't load first, I panic. I mean, I just,
Really?
Yeah. Like every time I call, because Ava, you know,
That's why he wears the boot, so that they'll put him on the plane first.
He comes out.
See, notice how he's laughing and not denying?
That's not.
Yeah, it is.
No, listen.
Mom's in the background going,
He's never going to get rid of the boot because the boot gets him on the plane first.
It's just a thing. I mean, we have assigned seats, and I understand that, but the I can't stand in lines very well.
And I
So-
have the keratication of the main aorta.
Yeah, so I just call the airline.
What?
When Ava was
6,
7 or 6, she started 7 years old. She started falling down and started swelling and all this. We couldn't figure out what was going on. We took her to the emergency room, and her blood pressure was 200 over 120. And they ended up rushing. We had to take her to Tulsa to St. Francis and all this. And she had a coart of the main aorta that's coming out of her heart, which is where it closed off. Basically, it was like 90-something% closed. And we didn't know that. And but now she has a stent. They had to go in and balloon it, put a stent in.
Oh,
and all that
wow.
stuff. So, but
Yeah.
I tell them that, each time I sit, I'll call the airline, and we have flown a lot over the past few years, but I'm like, my daughter has a cohort of the main aorta. We need
Aorta.
aorta. I was like, because it's chaos. Everybody's like running to get on the plane.
Right.
I'm like, can we, board in one of the first zones so that it doesn't stress her out? Because, I don't want her to get tackled and blood pressure go up and all that.
Right.
So I usually call them and tell them that. That's the...
Yeah, and the thing about me in the hospital, I was singing. So I would love to sing for this one guy. I can't even remember his name. But I would always sing, and I'd be like, man, I feel like a woman. And I would hide in the bathroom when I knew, like this one time I was so excited. Because, I brought this thing together, and I was like, I'm going to be like, Mom, you push play, and then when he comes in, I'll walk out, and I'll be like, man, I feel like a woman. And he comes in there, and he's like, where's Ava? And then I walk out, like, man, I feel like a woman.
He's probably like, who is this kid's parents?
Yeah, where are the parents for this child?
Was he a nurse or?
He was, he had like a
He was
whole,
one of the doctors.
he had
Oh,
like
okay.
a whole team, though.
So is that all fixed now? Is everything?
She had to go back in and get it ballooned a couple of times since then. And if it starts narrowing again, we'll have to go get it ballooned again or whatever.
So you just got to go, like every 6 months or a year
Yeah,
or whatever.
she's-
just to-
Well,
for a
it
checkup.
kicked it back because the last time we went, and right before that, we went to church, and I was with my nanny, and we, the whole church, we, prayed for it, that
Mhm.
everything will be better. And the last time we went back, it's better than it's ever been.
Really?
So they pushed me off to a year? 6 months? Oh, I thought it's been longer than that. I thought they pushed it up to 9 months once.
But we know it's not like if it collapsed or something, it wouldn't be like instant death or anything.
Right.
There would be weeks of symptoms.
Signs,
we would know.
yeah.
We would see the symptoms.
Right.
Yeah, I remember when it was first going on, it was trippy. Everybody was like, oh, what's going on? She was
So-
having some serious health problems
Yeah.
with it.
She was in the hospital 13 days the first time.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. And how old
Yeah.
were you at this point?
7.
7 years old.
Dude.
Have we even
Yeah.
said how old you are now?
I'm 12.
This is incredible.
My birthday's in a couple of weeks. December 5th, 13,
Wow. Yeah.
teenager.
I'm sure your parents are excited.
Yeah, but when I was in the hospital, I hung up these signs where people could sign it. And actually, when we started talking about this, it came to my mind, it's right by my bed. And I don't know why, but every time I look at it, my eyes go right to Lucas's where you signed it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it says, love you, hope you get better soon. And then it says Lucas.
Yeah.
I don't know why it always goes to that, but
Well, that's nice. It was nice of you.
I'm a nice guy.
Every once in a while.
Yeah, I got my moments, they're few and far between, but I got my moments. No, it was one of those things where, of course, everybody's glad it's figured out and
Right.
they kind of got a plan for it and all that stuff. And everybody does a good job of keeping an eye on her. But it was
Oh,
trippy, man. It was scary for a little while. Because like I said, whenever they couldn't figure out what was going on.
I
all that,
remember.
Dude,
Yeah.
very scary.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
remember.
there was a curvature of that aorta, so everything they were doing, they couldn't see that narrowing because there was a slight curvature right there that was at a range of all the different echocardiograms and all those things. They weren't seeing it, and the what is it they do to pregnant women?
Oh,
Ultrasound.
Ultrasounds.
Yes, thank you.
And all
I
those
couldn't think
things
of
they
it.
couldn't see it, and they finally did a contrasting.
it's not just a
and they were
pregnant
able to
woman.
see it.
It's not.
Well, I know, but I mean, that was the most common thing.
But yes, I know. So, do they think, when you get fully grown, that it'll be one of those things where you may not, have to keep
Can you
coming
grow
back?
out of
They
it?
think
Right.
that basically,
I guess that was what I was trying to get
with her
to.
being female, that she'll be fully grown around 13 or 14 years old,
Mhm.
and they may have to do it one more time, is what they're hoping.
Yeah, they put a 14-year-old balloon in me, right? Told me till I'm 14.
Yeah.
And I had a huge growth spurt, and they had to go back in and redo it.
Oh, okay. Wow. So I'm sure that was really, obviously, that's a very scary situation.
Well, once it was kind of figured out, it's of course it's always that kind of whatever, but at least they know.
Yes.
It's
The not
manageable
knowing.
or whatever. That was the trippy part, was whenever they didn't know what was going on.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not trying to bring up old bad stuff, but I mean, me myself personally, I was just like, oh, okay. And my mom makes everything worse. You know what I mean? Like whenever I talk to my mom, because my mom would keep me updated, because of course, Nathan and Heather are really busy with what's going on. But
Right.
So I'm getting updates from my mom. My mom's, dude, you just have to know her well to know how dramatic she is. You know what I mean? She's like, they're not sure what's going on.
Yeah.
She'd have like these long dramatic pauses, like she's about to break down on the phone. I'm like, what's happening? Do I need to go up there or whatever? Well, they don't know. I'm not sure, Lucas, And I'm like, well, what's happening?
Well, she's scared too,
She's a little, I don't know.
Everybody's scared.
She's exaggerating a little bit.
Yes,
She's
she's very dramatic. One time we were at this singing thing. It was Gerald Crab.
Yeah, Gerald Crab.
Yeah, huge fan. She loves him. And Jason Crab. She loves Jason Crab, which that's his dad.
Yeah, my mom's the reason that famous people have security, but go ahead.
Yeah.
Or she's one of those type of people.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
And so we were like, do you want a CD? We were like mouthing it to her because he was like right over there. And she was like, and she got up and came out. She was like, what?
Yeah.
She has to put these people on the spot. You know what I mean? She won't stop until she's got their attention. It's like Wes Studi. I mean, like you were just talking about earlier.
He was scared of her. I mean, he was like,
was
who is this
terrible.
crazy woman? I mean, he like put Ava between them. I mean, you can see in the picture, his eyes are kind of like, she like charged him. And then she came back and my aunt was with us. She's like, do you want a picture with him? And she was like, no, not after that. She was like, no.
She's like, I don't want to know.
We're embarrassed of you right now. She was like, no.
Good actor.
Is this what you want to do forever?
Yes.
Is this it? You want to be a performer, a singer, songwriter, artist?
Yeah, I just want to inspire a lot of people, be like a symbol of hope for people. Like, through Heaven's Window, I want it to be a symbol of hope for his family and friends, and just bless them with a song, or whoever has lost a loved one. And if they've lost, like Behr, for instance, they can go through the song and help them through the grieving process.
Yeah, that's cool. I've read a couple of different articles where they talk to Behr's mom, about, hey, how's this, and she always goes into a lot of detail about how much it, they appreciate it, how much it's helped them and that kind of thing like that, kind of go through it. And it would be a tough spot, man. I couldn't imagine.
Yeah, his parents and family are just really amazing people, and they've been super supportive, and they're just really good people.
Yeah.
Really good people. Just before we released it, was it before she wrote the song or after you wrote the song where you had the dream about Behr? It was right before we released it. Before we released the song, Ava had a dream about Behr, and it was very real, and she woke up crying. Go ahead and tell them about the dream.
You know how you can like imagine things like when you want to see that person? Like, that's what I do when like I'm in a tough situation. I always think of Behr, and I imagine him sitting right next to me. And I had a dream that we were standing by this rushing river, and it was super, super pretty there. And Behr was dressed up really nice. And usually he's like in sweatpants, shirts. And he was dressed up really nice in like these nice khakis, black shirt. And he had no glasses. And he always had glasses. And it was kind of like crazy. And he was like, I miss you, Ava. I've missed you. And it kind of scared me because I didn't know if I was like with him or not, or it was like a dream.
Well, those dreams are, I've had similar experiences. That's,
Yes.
those are tough. Me and Ben and I have talked about it, that type of dream before, yeah.
Well, when she told Rachel and Heath about the dream, and she was talking about there were doves there and it was warm and stuff, but she told them she thought it was weird that he didn't have his glasses on. She didn't recognize him at first because he looked a little older and didn't have his glasses on.
Yeah, we were like a little older.
And Rachel said that he had asked her once, do you think that I would have to, or would I have to wear glasses in heaven if I was ever in heaven or something like that?
Wow.
It really struck a chord with Rachel when Ava said that because he had said something about it before.
That gives me chills. It's maybe, like I said, like he said, we've had similar situations or similar dreams, and it's almost like they're letting you know that everything's okay, and that's kind of how I,
it's always, to me, it's always part comforting, part upsetting, I guess you'd say, or whatever.
Yeah.
It's not hard to know how to feel about that kind of thing. Yeah, definitely. Well, I'm glad something, it's cool that something so positive can come out of a negative situation like that. I mean, it's, like I said, the things I've read about it, I've never met his parents or anything like that, but everything's always, I can tell they're really supportive of him. They always have something really good to say about it.
We did the video, they helped raise funds to cover the cost of the video. We had James Rayner. He's like an international filmmaker. He's from England. And he's got a really bad accent. He's really hard to understand.
Now, is he the one that told you that you had a bad accent?
Yes, and he couldn't hardly understand me, but I couldn't understand him. And he always is like saying something, then he would say...
Yeah, and actually, this is a funny story, but it's not near as funny as all the other ones I've told. But we were, like, in the process of shooting the video, and Jody White, texts Mom and says, your cows are out on the highway or something. And Mom tells Dad, and Dad calls JoJo and then calls like Nanny and stuff. And he's like, cows? You have cows? And I was like,
This guy's tripped
yes.
out about cows.
And he was like, I have to come over to see the cows. He was like freaking out about that we had cows. I was like,
He
huh?
came over, though, didn't he?
Yeah.
Really?
He came to Red Oak.
The guy from England came
Yeah.
to Red Oak,
Yeah.
Yes.
America.
Yeah, Sean Fuller from Florida Georgia Line, Billy Dawson, Laney Edwards, and James all came to Red Oak for the release of the song.
Oh, okay. For the release of the song. And I remember when that was all going down, and I was thinking, what is going on? Like, there's another one of those, flipping through Nathan's, Facebook, and it's like, is this real life?
Oh, man.
Is this the same Red Oak I know, or is this a different Red Oak? Is there a different? I know there's several other Red Oaks in this country, but this can't be Red Oak, Oklahoma.
Well, the fun part about watching Nathan manage a lot of this stuff is of course, Heather has her head together about a lot of this stuff, and then Nathan does too, but he has this
But how do you prepare
wild and
for this
crazy
kind of thing?
Well, he has this wild and crazy way of coming up with ways. I mean, it always works out. They always make it happen. But it's always Nathan. It seems like there's little things that are going wrong and all this stuff like that. So I'll talk to him and be like, "Oh, what I want to do about this? I need this. I need this."
Well, it's like this podcast, okay? If it were
Yeah,
up
same
to
thing.
this guy, he would be like, just hit record.
Yeah.
Who cares if it's, in SD, standard definition. We don't need HD. Who cares?
Yeah, I'm pretty.
And I'm
bad
like,
at it.
no, we have to set it up, as good as we can get it, So this guy, I'm not.
Well, when they all came down, I was driving them, and
But you're the one that has to basically coordinate, right?
yeah, I
most
coordinate
of it.
most everything that we do. Yeah,
Oh my gosh, I can't
Me and
imagine how
Heather
stressful
both,
that
so-
is, right? I mean, it's got to be
yeah, it's stressful.
because you want it to be perfect,
Yeah.
and you want everything to go well. You want the people that are coming from England, and you want them to be welcomed, and it's like you have to entertain them, right? I would guess.
Yeah, it was a lot of time. I mean, you want them to feel very welcome and very entertained. You don't want them bored and annoyed.
Right.
I have a friend that has a winery. We stopped there and they got to sample her hoochie mama, which is like a jalapeno peach, and we just drove around and did a lot of different stuff. And they took my phone away because I was scaring them because people were texting me and stuff, so they took over my phone.
Yeah, so
While you were driving?
Yeah.
Yes.
So they were like,
Jeez, Nathan.
They were like, give me the phone. And he was like, I'll respond to everybody. When I picked them up from the airport, James...
Did they all come at the same time?
No, they all came at different times.
So you were having to wait?
Well, I got 2 of them, and then Tamara Bell went and got 2 of them.
Okay, yes, I remember that.
So, but I had to go get my tag, and we're Osage, so... I picked one up. I picked up James. He's from England. He was like super excited about seeing real Indians. And I said, it's not like you think.
Right.
It's like, it's like they'll be in
Seeing
business
real
suits
Indians.
and stuff. He's like, what? I won't see anybody with braids or anything? I said, no. It's not really like that anymore. So we get to the Osage Nation.
You can.
Yeah, well, we get there, and I'm getting my car tag because it was just enough time to do that and then go back and get Billy from the airport.
Please tell me somebody was there.
We
with
walked
braids.
in the door, and everybody in there had their hair in braids. And he's like, you lied! Oh my God! There's Indians with braids everywhere! And he's like taking pictures of them, and he's like, why would you lie about it? And I was like, I've never seen anybody wear braids.
I've been up there several times. I've never seen anybody with braids either.
But they were like, all these Indian guys everywhere with braids, and I was like, I don't know. Maybe they're filming something. I've never seen this.
It's just that I had this all set up just for you, just so you could see.
Yeah.
So he's with you, and then you're getting a tag, and he's with you getting a tag.
Yeah.
Right?
and
Did
he-
he buy something?
He bought a tag and cups and shirts that were all Osage Nation and had the writing and all that.
I mean, he goes back and just that part. I'm sure he thought I never thought I would be in America buying a tag for a car at some point in my life. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a Native American tag.
And some Native Americans in braids.
I can't
that's
believe
a
you
story
took him with
forever.
you. That's just crazy, dude.
I needed a car tag, and I was trying to kill 2 birds with one stone.
Yeah,
I had to
right.
ride back up there.
Yeah, but you would think you would need to take him out like to eat or something, right?
I did not know this.
But no,
Yeah, he was
I
like,
did
I want
not
to
know
see.
that.
He was intrigued that we're Indian because Heather's Cherokee and I'm Osage. So I was like, well, I need to go
but
get a car
it's
tag.
like taking
you want to
him-
go to the
right.
Osage Nation? He was
It's
like,
like going to pay your
yeah,
water bill.
Indians. Yeah, he was
Go
like,
to pay your water
Yeah,
bill.
it's like you went and paid your water bill and took him with you. You know what I mean? Hey, you're from England. You want to see how we pay water bills in America?
And what does he do? What is
he's
his
like
role?
an international filmmaker. He's the one that filmed the video in Nashville.
Heaven's Window.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Now, what are a couple of things that he's
He's done a Porsche commercial. That's the best one we've seen. Oh, and he did something with Chris Brown.
Chris Brown and Drake.
Wow.
I don't know who they are. I think
you know who Drake
I
is.
do now because I've watched the video
Yeah.
stuff that he
Did? Do you remember which video it was?
No Guard.
He did the video?
I think he did portions of. He didn't do.
So he'd
The
been in
whole-
America, I'm sure, a
Quite
lot.
some
But he had
time.
never been in an Osage tag office getting a tag with. I mean, this is a story that he'll
Dude,
forever.
This is my brother.
He bought a bunch of
100%.
stuff.
Yeah, did he
I mean,
pull
like-
out his camera or anything?
Yeah, he was taking
Videoing?
pictures
That is
and-
great.
And he was like, he bought an Osage tag just because it said Osage, and he said, "I feel like I'm a part of the tribe," you know.
He cannot say that
He did,
because they.
and I was like,
They will
I
not
don't think it
appreciate-
works.
Even
like
Ben
Yeah.
can't say that.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
No, I said I was Native American one time around a friend, and he was like, "You're not Native American." I was like, "No, you're not." Oh, and he was serious. He was not kidding. He was like, "You have a card, and that's what you are." I was like, "Oh,
Yeah, welcome to my
You
entire
kind of
life.
look. You kind of look Native American.
let me crawl in a hole real quick and cry." 'cause,
Well, you don't want to tell Ben that he looks Native American
I
because
have,
he
I
walks
have the high
around.
cheekbones.
He walks around like he's looks native all the time. So
So I don't know. It's just crazy to think about this guy coming from England, and I know that's what I would be the same way. I would be thinking, how do I entertain this guy? You know, first of all, how am I going to entertain him? You know, in Red Oak, America. You know, and I love Red Oak. Don't get me wrong, but you know, it's not like New York City or anything that this guy's probably used to. And when I can't imagine So you drove from the airport all the way. So he saw all
Yeah, he
kinds
saw.
of
They were blown
Oklahoma
away.
countryside.
Billy Dawson was with us because when we got back from Pasco, we had to go pick him up at the airport, and he had never been this far into southeastern Oklahoma.
Yeah, because he probably thought it was all flat.
Right. And I mean, he thought it was some hills because they go down I-40 going to New Mexico and stuff because he's got a lot of family, and he's from like Texline, I think and Sunray. He's from Sunray, and it's like right on the Oklahoma border. That's western Oklahoma. It's like really flat.
Yes.
But he was just blown away once we went over Highway 82. He was like, "This looks like New Mexico." You know, he just couldn't believe how nice it was.
Okay, you know how you say like it'd be hard for them to entertain them, you know? Let me tell you.
Yeah, I would
Dad
like to know
entertains them with his driving. His driving is crazy. We went
Yeah,
to
texting and driving. I mean,
Yeah, we went to Dallas for my birthday once, and all my friends were like, "Can you let Heather drive?" They're like, "I ain't going with you if your dad's driving."
So how long were they down?
Billy and not
James?
James were here 3 days, I think,
Where do they stay at?
at the Brown Bear cabin. It's over by the KBA campground. It's in Latimer County,
Oh, okay.
but it's like kind of
Yes.
It's a super nice luxury cabin over there, you know.
Oh, okay.
And they all stayed there.
Wow.
It was very nice.
Yeah. Did they? By the way, I'm sure they did. Did they go see the old Choctaw Hospital?
No, we didn't have time to see a lot of the stuff.
You should have showed the guy from England. What's his name again?
James.
You should have showed James the Choctaw Hospital, the old one, because he would have put it in a movie.
Well,
Probably.
he saw the Veterans Hospital, the
You were so
TB
close.
ward, you know, and all that. And
He was so close. Have you seen the old one?
Yeah. Oh, I used to get medical treatment in there. Yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah.
It should be.
He's wanting to come to Oklahoma and do some filming. He's wanting to do some filming on some of the big wind turbines. He's wanting to film a real cowboy, he said, doing cutting horses and all this. And I talked to Sherry Hood and, you know, to ask her dad because he does that. And Sherry's like, I'll ask him and see. And I said, he's also wanting headshots. And because he asked me, he said, make sure you get headshots from the cowboy. And I said, cowboys really don't do headshots in Oklahoma. You know?
yeah.
And I
Real
told
ones for sure.
Sherry,
don't.
I was like, he's wanting headshots. And Sherry's like, I don't think that's going to happen. You know, you don't even see her dad on any
Anything.
social media
Right.
or in any pictures.
Yeah.
So. But anyway, he's wanting to come down and do some filming and
Oh wow!
different stuff. It's just getting it lined out and sponsored and all that.
And all it takes is a song.
Yeah.
You know, it's crazy how that can put a lot of people in the same room.
Well, see, we've met Tom Kelly. He works for Good Morning America, and he does things for like Dateline or Nightline or whatever. And we're hoping to get him down sometime to be a part of some of the events through Latimer County Tourism and stuff.
Wow.
He's hilarious. He's the one that's really helped Ava and Zaina. Like, he let her sing in studio when they were announcing the CMAs that time. And she got to sing in front of Lauren Elena, Brothers Osborne,
Dustin Lynch.
and Dustin Lynch. And then she got to sing at the concert series in the park, Central Park. And she got to meet, I don't even remember. Alyssa. They were there. And
Connor
Maynard.
Maynard.
And anyway, she sang Fight Song, and they had initially put it on Instagram and put it on a promotional for a bone marrow transplant nonprofit, but it was copyright infringement, so they had to take it down.
You guys still haven't talked about Ben and I's favorite thing that she's done, and that's perform with George Dukas.
George Lucas. Yeah.
Lipstick Promises. One of my all-time, and I'm not even kidding. It's not even, I'm not lying.
I know it's not a joke.
I'm not saying it for the podcast. I'm not saying it because Lipstick Promises is one of my all-time favorite songs.
Well, and you know when I told Nathan,
So jealous.
When I told Nathan, I was like, he goes, I don't remember him, and I go, he sang Lipstick Promises. He's like, I don't remember that song. Then he went back and listened to it, and he's like, oh yeah, I remember it now.
Excellent song.
Yeah. So how that got started, he started texting me on Instagram.
No big deal.
And yeah, no big deal, just blue check mark guy texting me. I had no clue who he was.
Right.
I just knew he sang, and oh, that sounded hick. He was talking about something. I was like, "Are you gonna be in Oklahoma anytime soon?" Because I wanted to go see him in concert. And he was like, "Yeah, I'll be there October something. I can't 7th, 10th. I don't know. And you should come sing one." And I was like, "Oh my gosh!" I was like, "Mom, look," because we were at a facial, and she was like, "Do you know who this guy is?" And it was George Dukas. And I was like, "Oh yeah, he's been texting me on mine."
Oh man, Ben and I would have geeked out if we'd have seen that. Of course, I know who he is.
And she was like, "What? Why haven't you told me?" I was like, "Oh, he wants me to go sing one." And she was like, "Ava, we have to call your dad." So we called him, and he was like, "Just ask your parents." And I immediately said, "Yes." They said I can go and sing, and so I got to sing there.
Now, where was
And
this at?
In
Oklahoma City at the VZDs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now, how did he hear about your? Did he hear about your music? How did he know about you?
We're not
You guys
sure.
never did find out.
We have no idea. Just the same way with the Gospel Spin Awards, we didn't even know about the Spin Awards or anything. They just somehow found her. They Googled something and she popped up, and they reached out to us and said, "Can she come sing and host?" They mentioned her and on their radio show. It was like 105.3.
Yeah,
Minstrel Appointed did in Augusta, Georgia. And then she tagged Ava on Instagram or Facebook, and we were like, "Why is she talking about Ava?" And then she reached out and she was like, "We would love to have you come be a part of our awards." And it's like all these radio DJs, and we met so many amazing people and learned so much stuff. And that's people keep asking how all these opportunities come up. It has to be God, because we're not rich and powerful. We don't know a lot of people. It's just these opportunities keep happening over and over and over for her, and it's very easy, and it's not anything we're soliciting. I mean, it's just happening.
That's it's incredible. It really is. I mean, even living, you live in Red Oak, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And Red Oak is a population, for people that don't know about Red Oak, Oklahoma, it's a population of how many people?
500.
Probably 450.
I was going to say like 300 is what I thought.
Probably
not very many.
300.
Yeah, everyone laughs. This kid came up to me actually the other day, and I forgot to tell Mom and Dad.
Oh, boy.
But he was like, I think it's really funny how Billy Dawson said he comes out of a small town of 1,000, because we're like small town.
Super
Our town
small.
is like 400,
Yeah.
and we thought it was really funny. So
Yeah, I've had people say
I
that
didn't know that.
McAllister's a small town. Like, oh, it's not bad for a small town. I'm like, there's 18,000 people here.
Right.
It doesn't seem small to me. I come from a town of 3,000 people. So,
Yeah.
but that's awesome. So, I wonder.
I want to get back to George Dukas real quick.
Oh God, I knew
So
it.
you,
I knew it.
Yeah, I don't want to go too long. I just want to know.
Yeah, you
so
do.
yeah, I do. We got an hour or two that we can talk about George Dukas and Let's See Promises. But so you go to Oklahoma City and you sing with him, or like before?
no, I sang in the middle.
Okay.
Like he did like a couple of songs, and then I sang Heaven's Window and Blue.
So you met him.
Yeah.
We didn't know him. I mean, he said, "Have your parents reach out to me," because that's how it's real, because they
Right.
know that a child can't do anything. But so I started emailing him, and his management team started emailing me as well, and we worked out the details. And
And you show up and you meet him.
yeah,
And
Yeah.
he put her on, and he was going to have her come and do another show with him in Tulsa, but it's at the Hard Rock, and you have to be 21 to enter, and we're waiting to see. But
you didn't have to be that old to perform too there.
Well, that's the thing. We just don't want her to. We're not real sure we want her in the bar to perform if that's where it's at. I mean,
Right.
that stuff. So.
Yeah, and I actually have a funny story about on our way up to, actually have two. Funny one. So I got to bring my friend Maddox and then Emily, and so
Could have brought your uncle and his friend Lucas and Ben. Could have brought them. But
Yeah.
go ahead. Especially to George Dukas. But go ahead.
So I don't know if y'all have seen, but you know those flowery boots that I always wear?
They're really bright.
Really, really.
Oh
bright.
yeah. I know. Yes.
Yeah, and they look super, super comfortable. Well, I cannot get them on my feet, and it literally took us 30 minutes to get them on.
Really?
Yes, and they got stuck somewhere else.
Now, is this for the performance?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yes,
and we
okay,
were like,
okay. I know what you're talking about.
And we couldn't get them. Thanks to my strong muscles, we got them on.
But it was neat to meet
Yeah.
George Lucas. And
Very neat. Have you listened to Lip Sync Promises?
Yeah, my favorite one is Eastwood.
He's got a couple of good songs, or that were, I say a couple of good songs from back whenever he was at his height or whatever you say, you know. But I mean, I don't want to act like he's washed up or anything. I mean, just in the 90s, whenever he was out or whatever, late 2000 or early 2000s, he had some good music. But so was he like a really nice guy to deal with? I mean,
Yeah.
as far
yeah,
as,
he's super nice. Like I said, most of these people, there's so many people that want to be in show business and all this. Most of them are nice because there's so many other people that these agents and things can work with that are nice. So if you're mean and you're a lot of trouble, they're not going to want to mess with you.
it makes sense that everybody would be so connected to all these different genres of music and that kind of thing. I can see how like these opportunities are opening up with people that aren't even necessarily gospel or anything like that, but they're all in the music industry. So I can kind of see how those opportunities would keep opening up that way. I mean, you guys, that's the exposure you've had so far is awesome. I mean, everything from Good Morning America to performing with George Lucas, which Ben and I think is a huge deal.
Didn't appreciate no invite, but go ahead.
I mean, that's right up there with the Grammy stuff for me and Ben. You know, we're kind of weird about George Lucas, but it's interesting, man. And from the outside looking in, I mean, I get to hear about it, you know, kind of secondhand or whatever. I mean, it's cool. And not to say that there's not an enormous amount of talent coming from this family to begin with, but I mean, you do look at it like, well, we're from the middle of nowhere, Oklahoma. You know, you don't really think about it, and then all of a sudden, boom! It's like legit stuff happening. You know, it's pretty neat.
Well,
Pretty
you
cool.
feel like you know beforehand. You think that you need to live somewhere. You know where you're.
Well, people always talk about moving. You know, I moved to Nashville, or I moved to
Hollywood,
to L.A. Or something like that. And of course, you know, this day and age, it's not so much that way with social media and all that kind of stuff like that.
It's
But
proof that you don't have to do that. You know,
which is
stay
awesome.
true to your roots.
Yeah.
And live where you want to live and do what you want to do. And
that's the beauty of just like people like you and I who don't really have a talent.
right.
You know, we can get well known just by keep showing up on social media for people. You
Yeah.
know? Just keep on
Exactly. Here
keep
we
on
are.
going. People get tired of seeing us, and we don't care. We just keep pushing.
We just keep on keeping on.
Yeah.
Can't stop, won't stop.
Who needs talent when you don't know when to shut up?
We can talk forever. There's no stopping us.
So you guys are. There's one song you don't want to talk about yet, right?
Yes, that will go to Albuquerque within the next month or two and record the video for that song.
Now, when you get more, like we talked about, is this going to go on an album?
Eventually, we need to do an EP, but you know, we were trying to do these singles and build a fan base, things like that.
Right.
And
Well, that's
it's
way more
working.
common now anyway.
Right.
The days of albums is pretty much gone. I mean, I've heard Blake Shelton talking about it.
I agree.
I mean, it's not profitable. You know what I mean? It's better to throw out one or two songs here and there
Right.
than it is to release an entire album. For one thing, it's less cost, and it kind of prolongs your exposure instead of throwing one big thing out.
Right.
Well, and with the internet and things like that, they lose so much money if you put out the whole album at once.
Mm-hmm.
You know, everybody's already burnt out on your music. Your first song is going to be bigger than the rest of the songs you release because everyone has 24/7 access. You know, when we were kids, we had to go buy a cassette tape, or when the CDs came
Yes.
out, we would buy a CD, and even to buy a single CD was like $5 or $6, $7.
Mm-hmm.
You know, now you can buy a single on iTunes for 99 cents or less, you know. So it's just a lot different.
I'm curious to see. I don't know how, like I guess you'd say the mainstream artists or whatever. I'm not sure how they negotiate it. Playing live shows would be the only way you could make money at it now.
Yeah. Is there
I mean,
a reason to come out with an album other than just I mean, or you just keep putting out singles.
People do it. I mean,
it's just, you know,
Yeah,
usually
well-
they'll run a tour off of it, though. you
Yeah,
know?
and you
That's true.
get awards, and you know, the more awards and things like that you get, the more syndications and things you get from like sponsorships, and you can, you know, do commercials and all those type of things, you know, where you make money off all that.
Yeah, but I definitely do want to do other songs and write more songs. Maybe I can do like a collab with someone or something.
that would be awesome. Sounds like you have enough people already to make that happen at some point at least. You have anybody in mind that you would really, really, really love to do one with?
Yes, Carter Jude Johnson.
Hey.
Oh boy, yeah.
Get him to rap, you know? Great.
Well,
That would be
may not-
awesome.
he might not be the best one to collab with because you can't stop him once he gets started. But yeah, no, if you structure it right and take the mic away from him at the right time or something like that, you probably do it. A lot of editing will be involved.
Oh man.
Oh.
Carter. There's gonna be two Judes in the family.
Yeah.
Two Judes.
Jude is actually, he's moved here from Lagos, Nigeria. So he's had a lot of adjusting to our food and culture because everything's so salty here. And, you know, he's really liking it. Him and Zaina's been dating 5 years. So,
It feels like 25 years.
Really?
but,
He's already the family member, right? Yeah.
so, I mean, he's got a lot of family. He left all of his family to come here.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyway, he's doing really well, though. He's in college. And
Wow.
so.
Super good dude. From my end of it, I mean, I can't say, you know, I'm not around him every day, but
Well, I
Every-
can only imagine he's got to be if Nathan is letting him marry his daughter.
well, you know how we like to talk, so he doesn't get to talk very much, but you know, I mean, he is nice. When he does get to talk, he says something nice usually, you know, so.
Yeah, he's definitely funny. Because the other day, or not the other day, well, yeah, I guess. When the Native American Music Awards were done and over, I FaceTimed Zaina and he was watching the thing. He loves this song. It's called Fry Bread. And Zaina flipped the camera and he was going. So everybody, it's like, stop Ava, or stop Zaina, stop.
That was something disappointing. When we were at the Native American Music Awards, they served food at the awards, and one of the things they said it was authentic Native food, and one of the things was fry bread that looked like a tiny burnt biscuit. I'm like, where's the commodity flour and
Yeah,
powdered
right.
milk? This is not fry bread.
Where's the cheese?
Yeah, this is not fry bread. Okay, it was like, I don't know. It was just different than the fry bread I'm used to. But what is the stuff that?
Is that all they had? Was fry bread?
No, they had a
Oh,
bunch
okay.
of different stuff. Lucas, what is that Brandy and them bring?
Banaha?
Huh?
Banaha?
Yeah, they had like banaha or something
What's
like that.
that?
It's like hominy,
Hominy.
and
Oh,
oxtail.
that's
and,
that's not Banaha. That's
Li-
oh my gosh, I can't think of the name of it right now.
It-
Banaha's it's the dough looking they're in like a little ball thing.
No,
That's
no,
Banaha.
this
It
was
had
that
like
hominy
beans
stuff.
in it too.
Yeah, and it was.
Oh my God.
It wasn't as good as.
Do you know what food is better than hominy?
Nothing.
Everything.
Hominy is
Everything.
delicious.
It is the grossest. It's right there with olives with me.
Are you kidding me?
No.
Olives.
Have you ever even tasted?
Gross.
Dude, I can eat it. I can open a can of
Gross.
it. Just a can of hominy, pour it in a bowl, and eat it.
It makes me want
I've never even tried it.
little
Nanny
salt and
taught-
pepper.
Don't ever
is
do it.
Delicious. It's
Don't do it.
delicious, I promise.
Don't do
Hominy is awesome. I could live on it, man. It's good. I love hominy. How can you not? I don't understand this, dude. Now, olives I get because not everybody likes olives, but who doesn't like? That's corn. You know what I'm saying?
I don't like corn.
Neither do I.
Well, I don't really care for corn in any other way
But I'll-
except for hominy. But
Dude, I will you pour a can of corn out and I'll eat it. I don't want to, but I can.
what,
Hominy? No, thank you.
what do you
It's
like to eat?
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
What-
okay,
what-
so anyways.
He likes fried chicken.
What is
I do
your
like fried chicken.
What is your favorite food, Ben? I've never asked you that before. What's your favorite thing you like to eat?
Like you're talking about like meat?
Just whatever. What's your most? If you could eat one thing right now, what would it be?
Oh man, I could meat a rare porterhouse steak.
Okay, so steak you like. Okay.
Yeah.
It's finally something normal. Okay.
And
You don't like hominy. I don't understand, but
I don't know if anybody likes hominy. Do you like hominy?
I don't like hominy.
Okay, there you go.
Nanny
Your own
likes
brother.
hominy. Nanny likes hominy. My nanny. She
heck
loves
yeah.
it.
Gross.
Delicious. I don't know why you wouldn't.
I don't think anybody
I
else
can't
likes
believe
hominy in this place than you.
I don't think it. Can't believe we spent this much time talking about it.
I
but,
can't either.
But it's delicious. I'll just leave it at that. Okay, I love hominy.
It is not delicious.
Shout out to hominy out there. Hominy, I'll do a commercial. I'll do it for free. Hominy.
Go to Walmart
Hit me
and
up.
look for hominy, and it'll be hard to find it. You'll
No
see
way,
maybe
it'd
a
be
lot
under
of you'll see
delicious.
you'll see like a lot of corn and a lot of green beans, and you'll see maybe 1 or 2 cans of hominy. And it's not
very
because
true. That's
it's not
very
because it's all bought out either. It's because it's been sitting there for 17 years because this guy is the only one that eats it. And when's the last time you had hominy? My point exactly.
The last time
My point exactly.
my wife's family, they always have that. I can't think of what it is. It's neck bone, but I can't think of what it's called. It has hominy in it, and it has a neck bone and all that stuff like that. And it's a native dish, and I can't think what it's called. But
No thanks, man. Maybe I'm not Native American. Maybe I'm not.
you most definitely are not. Trust me. I know some natives, and you are not one of them. Hate to break it to you. Especially if you don't like hominy. I mean, come on.
I don't like, and I can eat them too. I'm not even gonna say it because if I say it, then everybody will be like, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe it." I'm not a big fan of Indian tacos as well.
Get out of here. Get out of here.
I'm out of here. I gotta go.
We're even pulling your card. You can't even go to the hospital anymore.
I'm just not a fan of it, you know. But anyways, so I wanted to ask Ava, especially since she's got this. I may have met you before. You know, I've known your dad forever. I haven't seen him in forever. Follow him on Instagram or on social media, and I knew that you were going to have this, awesome, big personality. I knew him being your dad. I don't know your mom very well, and I know your uncle, and I know your cousin Carter Jude. So I knew you were going to have this, big personality coming in, and I was a little nervous because I was like, I don't know really, I've never met her, so I don't know what to say. And Lucas is like, man, just it's gonna flow. But since I've been talking to you and the Gucci belt, the fake one, what would you do if you had $1 million?
Take my nanny to the Gucci store. I told her that all the time. She would ask me that, and I'd be like, take my nanny to the Gucci store. I would take you. She'd be like, that's right, Ava.
Wonder what she would buy at the Gucci store.
Would you take your mom?
Yeah. Take my whole family.
I just want to know, maybe she'll fall again? Is that why you want to take her? Or when you went to Armani, was you expecting high prices? Did you look at the prices, or did you just want to look?
No, I wanted to buy something.
You wanted to buy something?
Bad.
And when you started looking?
I actually did buy something.
Oh.
It was flame Vans, but that's not like high class, But I wanted to buy something, but it was like a lot of money.
Yeah, the mall was split into like 3 levels. The lower level was like the super expensive nice. The mid level was, like American Eagle, stuff like that. And then the top level was...
Yeah. Okay, so
fake Gucci.
Yeah, it was like bad,
Okay, so you know how like...
We were like in the top levels, okay?
Yeah, so like, you know how Coach is like good for us, because it's like Oklahoma. Not for them. That's like trash.
At the top?
Yeah. It's like, and North Face, they're like...
I figured it would be the other way around in a mall. I figured that the top would be... the
fancy
best,
stuff.
and they don't even let you up there unless you have like a black card or something, like a one of those.
Like a member of a secret society
Yes.
or something like that.
Yeah, we were like in Prada, and it was... Most of their stuff wasn't priced, it was
Yes,
just
there
and
were
then-
these shoes, and it reminds you of Transformers.
So it's just one of those. If you want them, you got to be rich enough to just to buy
Buy
it.
it, yeah.
Who cares
No.
what the price
We
is?
found one pair of shoes. They weighed like 20 pounds a
yeah.
piece, super heavy,
Golly.
and they were like $900 for the pair.
And they...
Yeah, when I was in Las Vegas one time, I went to the mall there. I can't remember what it's called. I can't remember the name of it. Anyway, they had like some Louis Vuitton stuff, this Louis Vuitton store or whatever. Mm-hmm. So of course I'm like, okay, I've heard of this before. I'm not interested in buying anything, but I've always heard it's expensive, so I'm gonna go in here and look around. And they had like $20,000 bags and stuff in there, and I saw some Asian people come in and they were buying stuff. They were not looking. They were buying bags while I was in there.
Well, let me assure you, when we walked in these stores, it was kind of like off the Pretty Woman scene where they're like, I don't think we have anything for you in our store. And we're like, hello, y'all. And they were like, follow these people. They may be sticking stuff in their pocket.
They were following us. No joke, they were.
They were like, trash.
Now, isn't Supreme really high? Don't your boys love Supreme?
Gavin used to be huge into it, yeah.
I remember Carter asking, can you buy me Supreme, Ava?
Oh,
In Chinatown.
I'm glad he slowed down on some of that. There for a while, yes, Supreme was everything. It's all he wanted in everything.
So what do you do in your free time?
Play basketball. Right now it's basketball season. Balling up? No. And play basketball, go to church, hang out with my friends. Mm-hmm. Sorry, I say friends. Cows. Love to play with the cows.
You help feed them and all that?
Very rarely.
Yeah. But actually, I have a cat and a dog. And my cat, before I went to bed, I was talking to my mom, and the cat decides, I have a shelf above my bed, I'm laying down. It's right here above me. And before I went to sleep, it climbed up there and was playing around. And then Mom had to get it down so I could go to sleep. And it gets up there in the middle of the night, and I don't know. And out of nowhere, there's a big kabang, and I feel something hit me right in the eyebrow. And I have a huge scratch in my eyebrow. And this morning, we were on our way to church.
I see it now.
Yeah.
I see it.
What is it? What happened?
The cat.
Oh, it scratched you?
Yeah.
God.
He's like psycho.
Yeah, I know. Nathan will send me these snaps of this cat going crazy.
It runs through our house trying to climb the walls,
attacking people.
Lamps over.
It's
crazy.
It was a big boom because Mom ran in my bedroom and I heard Dad go, "What was that?"
What was the boom?
We don't even know.
We knocked something over. We can't figure it out.
Wow.
Yeah, and we were on our way to church this morning. He was like, "There's something in your eyebrow." I was like, "Yeah, it's dried up blood from the cat."
Jeez.
That's funny. I mean, it's not funny.
This
Kind of funny.
This cat's a demon cat. I'm telling you. I've seen plenty of snaps of it. I'm scared of it.
Yeah, and so is our dog. He bites our legs when we leave.
Really?
Oh, dude. Definitely. This is one of the funniest things. If you go to try to leave, what do you guys tell him? Bye or something like that?
Yeah.
They don't want you to leave?
They're a little Yorkie. He'll bite you for trying to leave. That dog's crazy too. He's nice though, not like the cat. The cat's mean all the time.
So, when you're at home and stuff, are you writing a lot, or you try not to do that so much?
What?
Writing songs?
Writing? Sometimes. I ask my sister to, but sometimes she's lazy and won't help me.
So if you're working on a song or something, you ask her to help you a little bit, and she's like,
Yeah.
I don't really want to do that.
Well, actually, we wrote a song couple years ago, and it turned out good, so maybe I can record that song.
Yeah, I've
Maybe
seen
y'all
some
can hear
Instagram stories and stuff. You guys working on music and singing together and stuff like that.
Plays and sings all the time.
Really?
She's in her bedroom playing her keyboard and
Oh,
Piano.
piano, whatever it is.
piano, keyboard.
Yeah. You know what? We should get
I'm looking-
Ava.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say we should get Ava to help us write our theme song. Ben and I are gonna write and sing a theme song for the podcast. We just haven't done it yet.
I thought we were going to be goofy with it, though.
We are, but she can help
I
us write
can be
Goofy.
goofy.
Well,
I've been
that's
goofy.
very true. Very true.
No, we're gonna sing. We're gonna do some kind of acapella thing. You know what I mean? Since Ben sings high, I'm gonna make him.
bass.
I'm gonna make him sing the high parts and all that. But
Yeah, definitely. That would be awesome if she would help.
I would.
Maybe we can kick some ideas our way or something like
And
that.
another thing, I know you mentioned earlier when we were talking about, before we started this, you were like, "Oh, I thought about we, put her song on, like, I guess the end of the podcast, and I don't know if we can even do that." That's what I was thinking. I don't know if you guys would want to do that, and I don't know if we could do that. Would it get flagged? Would it get flagged if we added the song on there?
No, I mean, if it did, I mean, all you'd have to say is you have the right to do it
Right.
because we're giving
Yeah.
you permission now to use it. I mean,
Yeah.
Caught
Okay.
on camera. Permission. You have permission.
Yep. We got something we can use in court now. You guys are in trouble.
no, but I mean, some people don't want you to use their stuff, but I mean, it's just more promotion and things like that. I
Right.
mean,
Yeah.
But
I mean, I get that, George Lucas wouldn't want you to put Lipstick Promises on some, I don't know, backyard brawl or something, I guess.
Well,
I
if
mean,
he's making money off of it, I bet he wouldn't care. You know
but
what I
he
mean?
wouldn't
If
be
it-
making money off that if somebody put that on their YouTube video, like dudes
see,
fighting
that's-
and it's got his
there's
song
a
in the
big
background.
push right now because especially songwriters do not get paid what they
Oh
should.
yeah, that's like
Right,
there's
yeah,
a
YouTube
lot-
and stuff. Yeah,
You've
Well,
got to
see-
perform. You've got to do concerts nowadays.
Yeah, well, and
That's where
they're
you make your
changing.
money.
They're making a lot of laws. We go to that Nashville to New Mexico event each year that's hosted by Billy Dawson in Eagle Nest, New Mexico, and it is all these insane songwriters. I mean, they start telling you who they've written for. All these songs, every song you can imagine. These people co-wrote with that, or wrote it. There's one guy that comes that wrote with the Highwaymen and.
yeah. George Lucas wrote with Radney Foster. Radney Foster's a huge
Yeah.
Songwriter in
I
Nashville.
mean,
I
there's
love
tons
Randy
of them
Foster.
that
Yeah.
come, to that event. If you've never been, you really should try to make it to the Nashville to New Mexico event. It's so cool. All those guys come in from Nashville and play all evening, and it's really
That
nice.
would
So
be
what are they
awesome.
trying to do?
Well, they're all working together now to lobby for songwriters to get money for their work. Basically, the government looks at it as like they don't treat it like it's a craft or anything. They're just like, good, you wrote this song, everybody should just get to use your work for free.
Mm-hmm.
And they're trying to get it to where, they get paid each time that song is used or played. There's a lot of different loopholes in the laws to where people can use music, stream music and things like that and not get paid. And they're trying to make it better for the songwriters.
Yeah, I can see some big changes in the music industry as a whole coming because of social media.
It worked. They're passing legislation. I'm not 100% sure what all it is, but
Yeah.
they were talking about it and they were excited that they're able to get some legislation
Good.
passed to start getting reimbursed for people using their work.
Yeah.
Somebody you guys could reach out to too. That's a Nashville gospel guy. Even is Kyle Williams.
Yeah.
He's writing songs in Nashville, I heard, and all
That's-
that kind of thing.
That's what we heard.
That might be somebody fun to collab with because, like you were talking about rap stuff and all that, just popped in my head. I mean, you may not want to or whatever, but he's got that song. I can't remember the name of it. That was on the Rock movie that just came out not too long ago. I can't think of the name of it.
Well, it's two people from the same county too. I mean, how awesome is that?
Yeah, that'd be
that's
cool.
incredible.
Yeah, he. Oh my gosh,
A
what's the
county
name
in
of it?
Oklahoma is,
Yeah.
with a very low population. And
Yeah, because I just ran into his dad, McAllister, the other day, and he was telling me that he's writing. He's a songwriter in Nashville. Is
Yeah.
what he's doing or whatever. So it's crazy. There's a lot of talent out in this area that nobody's ever really tapped into. I'm glad you guys are getting some exposure. And
Me too. Carrie earlier, I thought you were going to say Carrie Underwood.
I want to meet Carrie Underwood too.
Well, she's had some amazing help from people like Tess Monty
Mm-hmm.
from Channel 6. Tess has had her on the show 3 times, and Tess has been very awesome. And she came to Red Oak and interviewed Ava and Behr Place's parents. And, she interviewed Rachel a lot, and they got to do some things when she came to Red Oak. And then Ava's been up there in studio, and we're really grateful that these people have, taken interest in Ava and her work and been a part of all of this, with us. And so
Yeah, and also Caleb shared a link.
the Channel
The
6,
Channel 6
the most
news.
recent.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and then Isaac Whitaker, the charging station
Out of Houston.
out of Houston, has been playing my songs.
Oh, nice.
And Turtle Radio in Europe is playing the song. It's on their playlist and all that. We try to listen to it when we can online, but a lot of the commercials are in different languages, and we're not sure what language
Right.
it is in. You know, we're thinking maybe French or something.
So when your song is played, are you getting a notification saying?
They notify
How does
us.
that work?
They usually reach out through social media and notify. You know, we're streaming because they want you to promote their radio station.
Right.
And we've got a lot of people lined up. We've just been so busy that we haven't got to do a lot of the interviews and get things started, send in the music. Because they can't just pull it offline. You got to send in UPC codes and...
it's not as easy just emailing
there's like all
them a
these
song.
other codes and all this stuff you've got to do, and so that they can track how many times it's being played and all this different. I don't understand it. Heather does most of that because it confuses me. But I mean, there's a whole lot more to it.
So they can't just say, "Hey, email me the song real quick so we can play this."
No,
it's
it's
not
like,
that easy.
We need this, this, and this so that we can play the song.
Yeah, because they don't want to play anything that's not,
Well, they want the artist to get credit for
Right.
the play as well, because that can help with things like the Grammys and different awards.
Yes.
And stuff.
I always wondered how that worked.
That's confusing to me. I mean, it's exciting. Obviously, it's hard to wrap my head around, though.
Well,
I mean,
I'm
it's
sure
just-
it is for them too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You never know what's going to happen tomorrow. You may get a phone call from, you got to be ready at all times, and be ready to. Or if someone wants to come to Red Oak, you're like, oh man, I got to, I've got like Tess Monty coming down. I know she's, I follow her on social media, and she's pretty, down to earth, it seems, but some people, like the guy from, James from England, you're not sure what to expect. It's like, okay, so how do I entertain this guy? What do we do what did you guys do in the free times?
We just went to our house and I showed him my cows because he wanted to see my cows.
He was so excited.
Just take it down and
we
make your
just hung
vehicle
out.
They
payment.
took a lot of video and pictures of the cows and stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we went over to their cabin and hung out because Channel 5 came and covered the release out of Fort Smith.
Okay.
And they did a lot of interviewing there once the video release was over. And anyway, so we went over to the Brown Bear and we sat and waited till they aired it on the news, and we all watched it together and ate and stuff like that.
So you're just winging it, right? I mean,
Yeah,
Yeah.
mean, they're either going to like us or hate us. I
Right.
mean, I am what I am. I can't be something I'm not. I
right.
mean,
Did you get a little nervous about how you were gonna?
I don't watch TV and listen to very much music, so I don't really know anybody.
Well, I'm just
So-
saying, like, when you're thinking,
I
what are
mean-
you gonna do? Like, how are you gonna entertain these people, or how?
We have
what are we gonna
amazing
do with this?
support. If you don't know JoJo, you are missing out in life. Jody
Yeah.
White is one of the most amazing people on the planet, and she can coordinate and make things happen that you just can't imagine. I mean, she's just so helpful and does so much, and we're so grateful for people like Jody and for Jody, and Latimer County Tourism, and Patricia Donnelly has helped support Ava a lot, and we're very grateful for the railroad and for Patricia and people like that have just really helped. We couldn't have done it without their support. The
And-
Osage Nation,
Yeah,
the Cherokee Nation, the tribes have helped. I mean, because we don't have millions of dollars to spend
Right.
on all this travel, and,
Yeah.
and all these people in Latimer County Tourism have all helped
Nice
with these
Good.
events and help.
And of
Helped
course,
us.
God, because
And
he's
God,
got it
yeah.
all
Of course.
to us.
God has just been amazing. I mean,
It's a whirlwind, man.
I can totally imagine.
I try to hang on to, because if I hear something from Nathan, it's always like, usually he's just found out, so it's like, we're going to do this, and then he'll say, no, we changed our mind, we're not doing that, or I don't think we're going to do this, and they're wanting her to do this, but we're not going to let her. So it's a lot of
Well, you when you get opportunities, sometimes you hear of, like, I don't know, people that are these big actors or actresses or whatever, and they turn down these roles, and you're like, why did you turn that down? Well, there's always a reason why. Mm-hmm. And now I'm sure, you're getting a lot of these different offers or opportunities and stuff, and you've got to pick and choose, or you've got to, it's like, okay, what's the right,
Well, Nathan and
what's
Heather
the
are
right
real
answer?
conscious about putting her in bad positions. They watch over her pretty good. I know.
But
Just
sometimes you just don't know, I'm sure, right? You're like, should we do that?
we're always there. I mean, anybody that is legit is not ever going to want to be alone with a child, you know, and
Right.
because she can't make any decisions for herself, and that's one thing we judge. That's one thing we liked so much about Billy is it was a family event all the time. I mean,
Right.
he was like, you know, you guys come out, you guys do this, you guys. It wasn't Ava, you know, he didn't.
Right.
And we were like, you know, we trust this guy. I mean, he's
Yeah.
legit, you know, and just, you know, we just try to follow our gut and do the best we can. But
So you were talking about future events. Do you have anything in mind, like in Latimer?
in Latimer County,
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, if we do another video release or do some videos, we would like to do a video in Latimer County. It just costs so much to get all the equipment here. And I mean, like James, we wanted James to do Heaven's Window in Latimer County, but you have to transport a $80-something thousand camera on an airplane and then bring the assistants and pay for everybody. You know, it would have been super expensive to where if we just went to them, it was real simple and it wasn't as expensive.
And where did you film that at?
It was
But-
filmed in Nashville.
Yeah,
Nashville.
Heaven's Window was.
We just went different parts of town. We were in Brentwood, Nashville, and stuff.
We went up. You know where when it first starts, I'm like doing this on a thing, and it's like the sunset's perfect.
Yes.
No one will ever believe this, but it's on a parking garage.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, we were on top of a parking garage. And So Will I
Perfect.
video. Have you seen the So Will I video?
When did you put that out?
August.
We put it out in August.
It seems like I did.
It was amazing shooting in New Mexico. At one point, we were at 11,000 something feet. You know, and then in that video, Ava's like, when she's singing, it looks like she's breathing
I
hard.
did watch it. Yes.
And all this, and everybody's like, wow, she was being dramatic. I was like, dude, we couldn't breathe. We were literally over 11,000 feet. We were all gasping for air. I mean, that
he
was
made
not,
us walk up
Up
this
a mountain.
huge thing, and it was like 5 miles. I was like, I can't do this.
Hey, this is what it takes. You
Yeah.
know, to get the right shot.
Yeah. Yeah, that I remember when you were telling me about it, man. That some of that stuff you're just like, it's so big that it's like, is this for real? Just like whenever you guys started dealing with Billy Dawson and all that, and you were telling me about it, I was like, I hope this doesn't turn out disappointing. You know, I mean, I'd never heard of this dude, so I didn't know anything about him or whatever. And then he turns out to be legit. I'm like, man, this is crazy, dude. It's like one crazy thing after another. I know we've said that like 10 times, but it is. It's like this unbelievable journey that they've went through getting all this stuff done. And
it's just beginning.
well, the people are, you know, you always hear all these bad things about the music industry and people involved with it and all that. And they're not having to experience any of that stuff, man. It's been pretty good. I mean, I'm sure it's.
well, we're just real cautious, and the people that have reached out to us are just really good people. I mean, we're not. Everything's come to us, so a lot of times people that have the bad experience are so desperate to get started, they're
Right,
willing
yeah.
to, you know, they don't really realize that they're exposing themselves to danger, or to people that,
Or just to a
Take
bad
advantage of
opportunity.
them.
yeah.
Yeah.
And, you know, all of this has come to us by chance, and we haven't solicited it. It's been great, you know,
Right.
being in the right place at the right time, and just, you know, it's just been really awesome. We've had a lot of really good experiences. Everybody's been just amazing, you know.
I have a question for y'all.
Oh gosh.
Okay, so you know how you asked me what I would do if I had $1 million.
Mm-hmm.
What would y'all do?
Now, would you take your Nana, right?
Nanny.
Nanny. Would you take her to the Gucci store and spend it all?
No, I would give back to the homeless.
Oh wow, that's good.
I don't have that good an answer for that.
I don't either.
If I'm being honest, what I would do with $1 million, I don't know. I'd pay off my debt. I think that'd take up a little chunk of it.
I always said if I won like the lottery and it was like multiple millions, like hundreds of millions, I would just, you know, no one that I knew really personally would ever have to work again, you know, for the most part. But $1 million, I'm going to invest it. I'm going to give the you know, the old man answer, you know.
Find the next Coca-Cola to put it into.
Yeah, really. What was
I don't
your
wanna talk
answer about the $1 million?
$1 million, what would I do with $1 million? I would probably, I don't know. I mean, it's tough.
Get some new guitars.
He put it in his car.
I'd definitely get my car finished. for sure.
Would you just
Be
send it
nice.
off to get it finished?
Yes, I want to do that now, and I don't have $1 million. I don't know. That's a tough one, man.
I'd put it in the bank.
I don't know.
What about you, Dad?
I would buy a house and some land and cows. so we
Cows,
have
of
somewhere to go
course.
and
More cows.
More.
It's a great
be
investment.
away. Yeah.
Well, but I think you don't. Are they your pets basically?
Oh, God.
Yes.
So you don't sell them or anything?
Oh yeah.
He does.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean,
How many
I-
cows do you have right now?
we have 13 or 14 right now.
Wow.
14.
Let me tell you, anybody that buys his cows are getting cattle that are more well taken care of
Than any-
cattle they've ever bought. I promise you. They've been petted and loved on and everything else whenever they
I'm
go.
trying to get them to where I can get the right set of cows because in certain states they're starting to pay $300 an hour for cow coddling.
Coddling.
Where people can cuddle with cows.
Really?
Yeah, and if I can get the right cows to where they'll lay still and let people start snuggling with them, I'm thinking maybe I can cash in on some of that trend.
Can I be the first customer?
Well, Nathan already primes them. He already hugs on them and everything.
Can we do
so-
a podcast while we do that?
while we cuddle cows?
Yes. Why not?
All right.
Okay.
Wait a minute, you just rode a
We're
bull
there.
the other day.
I did. I'm a bull rider.
But what happened the day after you rode the bull? You were hurting.
Well, yeah, because he bucked me off.
Dude, it
and
was
I
such
went-
a light little
I went
fall.
face forward into the dirt.
I like how you jumped up like it didn't mean anything, and then the next day you're like this. I can't hardly move.
No, it really didn't. I had a headache that evening from it, just a tiny bit, but it did. My shoulder was a little bit sore.
I don't know how you could fall off of an
But it
animal
didn't-
like
it
that
didn't
and
hurt.
not hurt.
I wasn't.
Every
No.
bull rider you ever see, no matter how easy they get off of one, they're always limping or holding something every time.
Yeah, well, mine wasn't really.
No, yours is very tame. I think he just you fell off while he was running.
Well, I was
Kinda
told the
look
other day that he was trying to get in the garage when it was cold. He was trying to get in the garage so he could lay down
Yeah, that makes sense.
like a dog.
Yeah.
So I was like,
It's a nice little
he's
entertainment.
ferocious. He's mean.
I could see he was just trying to get away from you. After you fell off of him, he's like, "Oh, thank God!"
He
And
thought it
just
was
ran away.
He thought it was very funny.
Oh yeah.
He turned around and looked at me like, "Really? Is that all you got?"
He's like, "Don't worry, you'll be crying about that tomorrow."
I didn't have a bull rope. Okay. I didn't have an XL hat. XL 1000, is that what they call it? I should have said this first. I should have looked this up first. I forget what it's called, but I didn't have the right helmet. Not a hat, a helmet. And if I had all that, it'd have been a great ride.
What did you use if you didn't have a bull rope? What'd you hang on
They
to?
just had a rope around him.
Oh, really?
Yeah, not a bull rope.
What made you? Did
The
this
bull
just on
rider-
a whim? You just
the-
go, "Hey, I want to get on that bull."
No, they talked me into it. The bull rider, I don't know how old he is, but his
You know,
name's
they were
Braxton, and he actually does. He's a kid. He's about your age, and he rides bulls.
They
Big
were hoping you were
bulls.
going to get hurt.
And he wouldn't even get on it because his dad was like, "Get on there and show Ben." And, he's like, "I ain't doing it, Dad. I'm not getting on there without my rope." And I was like, "Y'all are trying to get me killed," because I was thinking, okay, he won't get on it. So if he won't get on it, and he rides bulls, like he goes all over the country riding bulls, and if he won't get on him, then why am I going to get on him? But
you
he
did.
finally did get on him, and so then I was like, okay, I'll get on him. But
I was very
I'm a bull
surprised.
rider.
You are?
Yeah,
No,
No
I,
joke.
I would say you have ridden a bull. I wouldn't say bull rider.
I'm a bull getter on her. Get on her. Like I got on him, and then he easily. I'm a bull rider. Okay, that's all. That's all you need to know. I posted a video on Facebook.
Yeah, check his social media and see how many bulls you see on this. You'll see one. And what's his name? Edgar or something like
I didn't
that?
say bulls rider. I said bull rider.
Valid point.
Right.
right.
He actually is in the world finals. Like he's a world final bull that he's never been ridden. But okay, I gotta tell the rest. In the category of 40, 50, and 60-year-olds, most of them are the older bull riders and he's never been ridden. So I mean, I got
What?
that,
There's an old man bull riding league or whatever.
dude. I said this to somebody else, and they looked at me like I may not know what I'm talking about. So I'm hoping that he's telling me the truth. But I talked to him in depth on it, and he's like, "Oh yeah." He goes, "We'll take him." And
Are you going to get in it? You're going to become a
Oh man.
national
no,
competing bull rider?
I already wrote him.
Oh, okay. So
So-
you're a has-been.
I'm gonna ride him again,
Oh.
but I'm not gonna travel to. I'm not going to the World Finals.
I'm not driving all the way to Shawnee to get bucked off of this bull. No, I'm good.
He goes to Vegas, I think or Amarillo. I don't know.
That's a long ways apart.
All I know
Those
is
two
I didn't-
towns are a long
All
way
I know is
apart.
I didn't have a bull rope, and I'm a bull rider.
Well, I'm sure we'll buy you one. We'll figure out. There's got to be a cheap one out there somewhere, used one or something.
Well, they had one at the house, but we had walked across
So on a whim, you guys get on this bull for 70-year-old man.
40, 50, and 60, and he's never been ridden. Yes,
And
yes.
still
he kept
hasn't been ridden.
He kept saying, right. He kept saying, "You're gonna ride Chad. The bull's name is Chad. You're gonna ride Chad. You're
It's a
gonna ride
perfect name
Chad." I
for
said,
him.
"I'm not riding no bull at all. I'll do whatever else you got. You got anything else out here? You got a dirt bike or something, and I'll show you some tricks on it or something. I don't know, but I'm not riding a bull." And
He said it's not a bull, it's Chad.
I ended up getting. He's a Longhorn.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. It's in the video.
He was
You didn't see it?
ferocious. The video I saw, you weren't even talking. It was like music.
He's very mean. Yeah. I put it together that way so it made it look a little more cinematic than what it really
Yeah,
was.
because really it was you getting on there going, now, what's he going to do whenever we open the gate? Well, he's going to walk out and you're going to fall off.
Yeah.
Well, okay, now what happens if he turns right?
the
Or is
first-
he going to go left or is he going to go right?
The first time the chute didn't open completely, right? And Chad thought it did. So Chad started
Running? Yeah.
I just thought he was going to get really agitated. He acted like he was because he was trying to get out, and I thought, it's the end of the road for me. I'm dead.
So Chad's a good actor.
Chad
He's
was a good
giving you the
actor.
feeling
And
that
so
he
we
was a
got-
mean bull.
Right. And
Yeah.
when we get out, he's like this, boom, boom, and I'm riding it for 8 seconds. And then,
Or an eighth of a second, whichever.
right. Well, hey, the details, we don't have to go through that.
They've seen the video, I'm sure
Right.
by now.
It was it's pretty embarrassing. And we got in the car and country music was on and I turned the channel. I said, listen, I
Country music.
I
is
don't
on.
deserve to listen to country right now. So
Bull,
I turned
bull
it
riders
off.
listen to country, okay? You need to find some Crystal Ledoux.
And my wife laughed so much at me over that whole.
I laughed so much.
and everybody there that was watching, they were all videoing, and everybody laughed at me like a whole.
Let me tell you something. He didn't even tell me he did this.
And if I went home right now and said I'm a bull rider, just walked in and said that, she would bust out laughing
Yeah.
again.
Yeah. I
And
laughed
she
a
doesn't
lot too.
laugh about a bunch of stuff. You know what I mean? She's not like me that just laughs over the craziest stuff. And I thought, I'll finish this story real quick, but
This is why our
it was-
podcasts are so long.
Right, it was just us boys that went over there. So it was our kids and us dudes that went over there, and we were looking at Chad and all that. Well, he calls Josh, the guy that owns the bull. He calls and he goes, "Hey, you and me come over here. Ben's about to ride the bull." I said, "Don't do that, because Amy's gonna get over here and she's gonna talk me out of it. She's gonna be like, 'No, you're not riding the bull.'" Well, she gets over there and
Get on it, Ben.
climbs onto the fence and just watching and not trying to talk me out of it at all.
You know,
And
she's
I-
hoping you might get killed.
Yeah, Amy's like,
Yes.
you remember what you said to me? Let's see how this goes.
Right, exactly. So I was like, not one word. Like she was just like, "Okay, ride him." I was like, "Are you kidding me?"
You're like, I was counting on you
Exactly.
to talk me
Get me
out
out
of
of
this.
this. And you're not at all. And she didn't. But anyways, I'm a bull rider, Ava. Just so
We're going to
you know.
hashtag this video bull rider just so people will wonder what the crap we're talking about.
I'd rather not.
Oh, okay. You're going to cut all that out? I'm like, no, I never even made the final cut.
No, I'll leave that in there because it was pretty funny and I want to talk about it. Braxton Thompson is the kid who's the bull rider, and he's very good.
And he's 12?
I don't really know how old he is. He might be 14. I really don't know. I don't think I've asked.
A lot of difference between 12 and 14-year-old boys.
I know. But he's really good. I know that. Thinking, you'll come back on.
As long as George Dukas can come with you. We need George Dukas in the studio.
If you could make that happen, that would be great.
We're hung up on George
we
Lucas
could
of all those people.
reach out to him and see if when he's in Tulsa, if you guys want to try to do a interview with him or something, see if he'd be willing to do that.
Oh God, I
There's
don't
no
know if I can
if.
do that.
Definitely yes. Yeah, why couldn't we?
I don't know if I can.
I know you can.
Oh,
I
gotta-
can't act like a silly
He's
fool
really
to this
cool.
guy.
He's just a normal
laid-
guy.
he's
really
laid
laid
back.
back.
Well, you know,
I
like
would run out of things to say. I'd be
Well,
like,
he don't
"You're-"
want to hear a lot about you. He's wanting to talk about
Right.
himself. He's famous.
right.
I know. That's
exactly.
what I'm saying. I'd be like,
So-
so you've done a lot of great music, and I love it. And then I just sit there.
Well, I'm sure he'd be happy to know that he has two, fans from Oklahoma.
Absolutely, he would. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Well, I don't know. I hope I would. I've never met anybody famous, so I don't know. I don't know how it would be, honestly. I mean, you're probably the most famous person I've ever met. Actually, Ava's the most famous person I've ever met.
Yeah,
I don't know. He's a famous bull rider.
that's true.
Yeah.
It's kind of scary. I mean, Ava's starting to get recognized in different places, and we're having strangers.
Yeah. Carter
Recog-
was actually with me one time. We were in this grocery store, and she's like, "Oh my gosh, hey Ava," and I was like,
And I mean, you're like, who is this person?
Right.
So I can't imagine how it'd feel to be someone like Wes Studi that's
Right.
like always getting recognized.
Yes.
And I mean, it would be somewhat scary. I'm
Yeah.
sure. I
this
mean,
girl in the hospital the other day. My blood was getting drawn, and she was like, "Oh my gosh, you're the girl who sings Heaven's Window, Ava Rose Johnson." I'm like, "Yeah." She's like, "You're amazing." I was like, "Thank you."
That would be trippy. That'd be crazy. I couldn't imagine being recognized. That's
well,
awesome.
I mean, it's nothing like Wes Studi or anything. I mean, I'm sure. I mean, he's like an Oscar winner. I mean, he's amazing. But
Right.
I'm just saying what little we've dealt with.
Man,
is
don't be
scary.
downgrading Ava's fame.
I'm
Come
not,
on, man.
I'm not. I'm just saying what little we've dealt with it. I mean, it is kind of scary because, well, for one, she's 12, but I mean, she's doing what she loves. I'm not saying that. It just makes you real cautious. I
Yes.
guess.
Yeah. I can only imagine.
I'd be the
LJ and
same
I
way.
have to be cautious with the podcast. I mean, we got people. Hey, oh my gosh! Not really.
They've been bothering us all day today. No, man. Nobody said anything. Actually, there was a guy, Bubba Mathis, said the other day. Well, when I was leaving the basketball tournament, did you guys hear me tell this story earlier? He was like, I was talking to him and Lance whenever I was leaving, and I was like, all we do is do the podcast, whatever, something about the podcast. He goes, "You do a podcast?" He goes, "What's it called?" And I said, "I don't drink coffee podcasts." Is the deal. He goes, "I heard somebody in our office talking about that the other day. That's you? That's you and Ben?" And I was like, "Yes, it's us." He's like, "I'll start listening to it then." So we're not as famous as we thought, but
He'll probably not start listening to it though.
he might. He's a pretty good dude.
No, I didn't say he wasn't a good
But
dude.
Bubba doesn't say very many things to me that he doesn't mean. I can't say what he does to other people, but for me, he's usually.
But a lot of people are like, "Yeah, we'll listen to it," and then they don't do it.
Well, Bubba likes me though. Hey, we have 1,000 members in our little
That's cool.
Oh, I like Bubba a
Facebook
lot.
group. Though.
Yes, we do have a Facebook group, a very, very new Facebook group, and
Yeah, is it a week old yet?
I don't even know. I don't think so. And we have we have over 1,200 members.
We're
as
over
of now.
1,200 now. So there's
Yes.
1,100 and something last time. I
And
looked.
it's a lot of memes. It's
A lot
not
of memes.
really
I see it. I'm in the group.
it's not really what we had envisioned, for the group. Now I'm not saying it's bad, I mean, but it's a lot of memes.
Can you explain to me why? Sorry, Billy's texting. He's like, I told him the name of y'all's podcast, and he's like, but I love coffee, But anyway, everybody.
So do we.
Everybody keeps posting in that group the white cat and the blonde lady.
Right.
I don't
Oh, yeah,
understand
yeah.
that. What does that mean?
Well, I think it's it's just her saying something, and he's just like, no.
It's the face.
It's like-
you know what I mean? They
yeah,
just
right.
use the face
Face.
for.
Because I'm like, does this mean something? Is this off a movie? What is this?
I don't know what it's off of either.
I honestly couldn't tell you. It looks like it's off of like it looks like a TV show, or not a TV show, but like a reality show or something.
Yeah.
She could be a
me
reality.
too.
But yeah, there's so many memes in there. But now that I've got a new computer, I'm going to be able to make more content, little snippets of our stuff and just plug a lot of stuff in there. So hopefully it's going to kind of even out a little bit, so people that are in the group right now, there's going to be more of us in there too, not just a whole bunch of memes.
Well, and I've been meaning to get in
They're
it.
very funny memes. You
Yeah,
know?
there's plenty of funny stuff. I haven't had a huge presence in it because I've been working a whole lot. So it's
Same
kinda,
here.
I catch some of it here and there. And
So we're trying to make sure everything's, because we don't want any drama. We don't want anybody. We want everybody to have a good time. And so anyways, we it's taken off. That's great. But we're still not gonna get recognized if we're out in public.
if we ever do, we're gonna make a huge deal out of it. I promise. Well, that's what I say. There's a comedian that Ben and I both listen to. Excuse me. His name's Theo Vaughn, and he's from Louisiana. He's like a hick sounding guy, and he has a podcast he does called This Past Weekend. And the thing that Ben put on of us talking about flip flops, I don't know if you saw that, where I said I don't trust a guy wearing flip flops. I don't trust anybody if I can see their toes. And he goes, I'm wearing flip flops right now, and I said I don't trust you. And a lot of people thought that was funny, but his podcast liked that video. So for like a day and a half, I thought we were famous. Like I told Ben about it. I was like, oh my God. I was at work and I called him and told him about it. He's like, what's the big,
I'm at football practice.
Yeah, I was freaking out about it.
Yeah, I'm at football practice, and I'm trying to coach these kids, and I'm like, oh, LJ called me. I need to call him back because he don't ever really. He usually just texts me or whatever, and then he'll text, hey, what's up? I'm gonna call you real quick. You got time or whatever? Which I don't know why he's so courteous to me like that, but that's just what he is, I guess. So I'm like, just call me, and if I don't answer it, I'll call you back, but you don't have to text me first and ask if it's okay, or if I've got time, or we'll be talking on the phone. He'll be like, I know you're busy, man. I won't keep you, and I'm like, dude, I'll get off the phone if I have to. You don't have to.
I know it's a thing,
but so yeah, I called him back, and he goes, Theo Vaughn just liked.
I was freaking out. Well, that's the closest thing to being famous I've ever had. I mean, that's the closest I've ever gotten.
And it's very awesome. I'm not taking anything away from it because it's very awesome.
Well, you got to think
we
about
love
like
this dude. We love this guy.
Yeah, he's very funny. And the coolest thing about it is that he was liking something that I said.
Yeah.
So that means what I said was funny to a comedian. That makes me a comedian.
Yes.
So now I'm famous.
Right. And I'm a bull rider.
I'm a famous comedian. If you're a bull rider, I'm definitely a famous comedian. So we'll just leave it at that. Anyways, okay. So, do we want to plug?
Yeah, we're gonna wrap it up, and I'm this show's brought to you by Blackline Insurance Group. Visit blacklineinsurancegroup.com. That's my baby.
I'm gonna say my YouTube channel. Do you still have to do the /Luke Combs thing to find my YouTube channel?
I think
I got to do something. I don't know how to hashtag or anything. It's hard. There's a bunch of Lucas Johnson YouTube channels. So
if you type in Lucas Johnson and Luke Combs and all in the same search bar, hit enter, it'll pop it right up.
Oh, okay. Yeah, do that, and that's where my music is, I guess.
And if you're not a member of the Facebook group, search for
I don't drink coffee
podcast in Facebook and join, and we'll approve it.
Get your memes ready.
No drama.
Please, for the love of all things holy.
No drama.
No drama.
I'm going to plug my stuff too.
And we want...
Yeah, that was
Okay.
definitely, that's the most important. We're saving the best for last.
Right, exactly.
You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. Ava Rose Johnson Music.
And your songs are on.
And my songs are
I
on
was fixing to say.
YouTube, iTunes, Apple Music, Spotify, and all digital downloads.
And you have one video, right?
Two.
2 music videos.
Heaven's Window and So Will I.
The one that you filmed in New Mexico.
Yes.
Right?
It's on platforms.
It's on platforms. That's an inside joke. But
Sorry.
Ava Rose Johnson Music.
Yep.
If you just type in
Ava Rose Johnson, you can find it.
okay.
Rose Johnson music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely pull up.
Awesome. Anything else you want to plug? You're on Twitter, right?
Yeah.
Instagram.
Yep.
Are you active on Twitter? I mean, do you tweet
Yeah.
pretty often? Cool.
Yeah.
Facebook.
Yep.
I don't know anybody
Tik-
that tweets, is why I was curious. I've never met
I
anybody.
have no idea.
Are you on TikTok?
I am.
That's the newest platform, huh?
Let's get a TikTok, dude. Let's do that.
We do have one.
We have one?
Yes.
Oh, God. See, I'm always behind. Stupid social media.
Yeah. Nathan, do you have anything you want to plug? Other than Ava Rose Johnson music?
Yeah, you can't steal off.
Yeah, can't do that. You
No,
gotta,
I
you gotta
mean-
plug something.
Nathan Johnson hot dogs. I'm just kidding.
No, just thank you guys for having us.
Oh.
It was fun.
Thank you for coming on.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys because, I mean, you have a million things you're doing all the time. So it's cool you guys come by and spend your entire afternoon talking to these two fools here.
Yes.
So
I mean, I know you love that guy because he's your uncle, but
I am awesome.
not really. But I don't want to say that to her. You know, I don't want her to think that of you.
She knows.
He's an awesome guy. Okay, now you're going to sing a song for us, right? And or you're going to sing the whole song?
No, I'm
Or
going to
the
sing
chorus?
the chorus of Heaven's Window. Flying high, I hope you find heaven's window. Swing it open wide and you hear this song. But you and I and God know it's not the end though. Sit back and kick up your feet and listen to the angels as they sing.
Very nice.
12 years old.
Day one, it was you and me. You were carrots and I was peas. Living and loving and twisting and turning and learning and growing. Yeah, we were wild and free. Always knew I could count on you. Just like the sky comes on the color blue. Now there's tears on my cheek as I fall on my knees. I can hardly breathe and my soul is bruised. Yeah, this is me without you. Flying high, I hope you find heaven's window. Swing it open wide and you hear this song. But you and I and God know it's not the end, no. Sit back and kick up your feet and listen to the angels as they sing. I know one day we'll meet again, but for now I know you're in good hands. I'm jealous of Jesus cause he gets to see ya. I really shouldn't be upset, but I just miss my friend.